weather outside may be frightful, but to the Rams, it's a sign they're successful. It's November, it's Saskatchewan, and there's a Canadian title on the line. Hey, this is the way it's supposed to be.
That little bit that we've got out there now, that won't really affect us too much. If anything, what it'll do is tend to soften the ground up a little bit. So we'll be fine, and that's what you play in this country in this time of year. So you just deal with that.
Still practicing in the same place and stuff. It's maybe not as fun to practice when you're sitting around and getting cold and stuff, but I can't see the preparation being any different than any other week, except for maybe a few more clothes.
And we've all played in the snow, so we're pretty well used to this, and we're looking forward to bringing some of those BC guys out here to play in the snow. Terrence Houston, he's originally from California. We're looking forward to bringing him out here.
The weather this week could set the Rams back a little in terms of preparation, especially for the offense, but the O isn't overly concerned.
Being that we had a bye week, it kind of helps, you know, in that we could get some stuff in last week, and we were getting prepared last week for this weather. We didn't know what was going to be coming, so we've already watched the game film, and basically now it's just going out on the field and doing this stuff. It's a little colder, but, you know, you got to do it.
We can't do all the things in practice that we'd like to, obviously. Footing's a little iffy out in the practice field, and with the snow, things are a little slippery. But we're Saskatchewan boys, and we're used to this kind of weather, you know, so I think it could work out in our favors this weekend.
As far as game day weather is concerned, the Rams really don't care what it's doing. They showed in the '95 final at snowy Taylor Field. They won't let the elements affect what they do.
It's the same for both teams, and we'll throw the ball unless it's gale force wind. There's no question about that. And the thing in '95 that bothered us a little bit probably was the slick surface, because we had that fine powder layer on the field, and it rained, snowed during the whole course of the game. So that bothered us a little bit, but on the flip side, it evened up because they had to play in it too.
We'll be able to do whatever we want to, no matter what the weather is. We both have to play in the same conditions, and that levels the playing field. So the offenses and the defenses, there won't be an advantage to either one. So.
This is my third shot at the Rams, and we've never been able to win. So we're going after it, of course, and it's always great to play the Rams. They're a class organization, one that the Okanogan Sun modeled after when we first started up.
No doubt about it, while the Sun have a ton of respect for the Rams, they seem to be snake-bit when it comes to playing against them. In the '95 semifinal, the Sun had a chance to tie the game late, only to run out of time. Last year in the national final, they seemed to have things in control in overtime, only to have the Rams come back and steal it from them. There appears to be a mystique about the Rams that the Sun has to overcome.
Those mental errors at the end of a game can really kill you, as we've learned in the past. And, you know, we've worked really hard on the mental aspect of the game. Physically, our guys are banged up and beaten, so it's going to come down to the mental game. You know, we understand that the Rams have injuries too. You have to expect that at this time of year. So it's going to be, you have to play a full 60 minutes, and last year we learned you have to play the full overtime as well.
Another thing about getting to tying it up or having a close game at the end of the seconds, then we lose it. And hopefully this year it doesn't come down to that. We can either be up or they can be up and just finish it. But if it does, hopefully it'll be in our favor this time.
Last year's loss hit the Sun particularly hard. Revenge is on their minds, but they can't let that affect their focus.
I mean, there's a revenge factor for a lot of the veterans, for sure. And, you know, we try to, you know, use it as a reason to hype up, you know, the younger guys too. But there's just been such a change on the team, so many new faces that it's, you know, something that we've spent a lot of time this year just trying to get over last season and try to forget about last season.
Yes, the Sun have plenty of motivation for this game, but so do the Rams. A 15th national title would serve to make one last statement.
I know that it's a year that a lot of us older guys, and I think the whole team feels that the responsibility to win this year, being that it's the last year that we're in this league. I think we just want to finish it off right, you know, and make sure that we do it right.
Eric Duchesne and Aaron David to our broadcast right to receive Todd Pinckney's low kick. Bounces between both of them through the Okanogan end zone, and the Regina Rams hit the scoreboard right off the bat. 1-0 here. They lead the Canadian Bowl right off the schneid, and Todd Pinckney can sure boot the ball through the end zone. He showed it there. Not a high kick, but a little squibber there and some miscommunication, Corey Borsa. Well, we're having some difficulties with Corey Borsa's headset right now, as Okanogan brings their offense onto the field. Chris Orban leads them at quarterback. His running backs are James Seeley and Terrence Houston, the outstanding offensive player in the CJFL. The wideouts are Adam Eckert and Kevin Snell. The slots, Chris Chow and Jeremy White. Will get to the offensive line after this play. First down, Sun from their 35. Ball in the middle of the field. They trail already 1-0. 3 receivers left. They pitch it out to Houston off the left side. He gets a bit of a hole and then is wrapped up by Jared Hoover and a couple of other Regina Rams, Jeff Zimmer and Misha Bosovich, over to make the tackle. Here's how the Okanogan Sun line up front. Devin Rogers, the center, the All-Canadian, number 64. The left guard, Chad Barrick. The left tackle, Jamie Clausen, a BCJFC All-Star. The right guard, Greg Owens. The right tackle, Warren Depker. The ends are Kevin Barron and Brian Smuck, the rookie out of O'Neill, who usually plays linebacker. Second down play here. They pitch it to Houston off the left side. Nothing doing. He was knocked down initially by Jason Melnichenko, a CJFL All-Star in his own right. He comes up to make the play, and the Sun will have to punt the football away. Good job by Melnichenko.
Nice job by the Rams defense there. Both times on both plays in a row, Okanogan threw a pitch off to the left-hand side, hoping Taryn Houston could get around the corner. They bring all the receivers down, try and block down with everyone, creating a one-on-one matchup with the defensive back. Kevin Barron, the defensive end for the Rams, blew it up on that second down play, forcing the Okanogan Sun to punt.
The Rams defense, the rest of it lines up like this. The linebackers are Jeff Zimmer, Misha Bosovich, and Derek Woolbaum. Jared Hoover's the corner, along with Sheldon Gray. The halves are Corey McKee and Jason Melnichenko, and the free safeties, Derek Woitis. Here's Andy Leeson back to punt, standing at his 25-yard line to get this one away. End-over-end kick that's going to bounce past Jared Hoover on the near right sidelines. He's out of bounds when he fields it, so the ball is down at the 34-yard line. Not a great kick there, only a 36-yard boot from Andy Leeson. So the Rams get excellent field position to start this football game. Here's how they line up offensively. The All-Canadian center, Curtis Morgan, anchors that offensive line. The left guard is Tony Plett. The right guard, Gary Block. Left tackle, Trent Poitras. And the right tackle, Todd Krenbrink, the 2 bookends for the Rams on the line. The quarterback, Mike Wong. The running backs, the veteran Chris Briltz at fullback, and the veteran tailback, Corey Olenek. The wideouts, Ryan Smith and Shane Ostapowicz. The slots, Jason Claremont and Chris Warnicki. Will get to the Sun defense after this play. First down Rams, ball on their 34. It's on the right hash. Little short side toss to Olenek. He breaks a tackle. He's across the 50 and is tackled deep in Sun secondary at the 53-yard line. Finally wrapped up by Corey May, the free safety. Here's the rest of that Okanogan Sun secondary. The corners are Daniil Whitehouse and Eric Duchesne, who was a CJFL All-Star as a special teamer. Doug Hartle, one halfback. The other halfback is Ryan Folk, an All-Canadian. The linebackers, Mike Latondra, an All-Canadian. Ryan Bridge, the rover. Aaron Breivik, who leads them in interceptions. And Ryan Sheeman is another linebacker, weak side linebacker. We'll get to their front 3 in a moment. From the shotgun, it's Wong on first down. Looking left, throwing, and the pass is caught by Claremont on the left sideline, and he's pushed out of touch at the 30-yard line, a gain of 27 yards on the play. Here's how the Sun line up front. Chris Zimmerman is the field end. The boundary end is Mark Ryan, and the nose guard, Rob Stewart. Chris Zimmerman leads them in sacks with 3.5 sacks in the regular season, but right away Mike Wong has come out throwing, Corey, and that's a key for Mike Wong to be patient in this football game and not make any unforced errors.
Mike made a really nice throw there. At that time, Jason Claremont went down about an 18-yard out, and Mike had enough touch to put it over the halfback and drop it into Jason's hands.
Ball on the left hash, 30 of the Suns. The Rams lead 1-0, 12:50 to go in the opening quarter. They fake the pitch to Olenek. Wong throws it out into the right flats. The pass is caught by Briltz, and he is wrapped up immediately at about the 27-yard line by the All-Canadian Mike Latondra. Pete Pasco standing down on the Rams sidelines. Pete?
Guys, some concern after the opening kickoff. Rams backup linebacker and special teams guru Doug Hill came up limping. However, it's just a mild twist to the left ankle. He says it's going to take a lot more than that to keep him out of this afternoon's ball game.
If he can get back in there, he will. It's second down, Rams, 7 yards to go. Ball on the 26-yard line of the Sun. It's on the right hash. Everybody out in a pattern for the Rams. Back to pass. Here comes a blitz from the Sun. Wong throws underneath. Pass caught by Warnicki. Down the right sideline. Turns the corner at the 10. The 5 to the goal line. But they're going to signal him out back at the 6-yard line. Nevertheless, a 20-yard gain there. Chris Warnicki from Mike Wong, that drag pattern once again.
That time the Rams, as you said, Mike, sent everyone out in a pattern. They sent the whole right side of the Rams offense on crossing patterns across the field and brought Chris Warnicki from the left-hand side back the other way on a delay. And as you said, Mike, the flow went all the way to the left. Chris Warnicki coming back to the right, pick up the pass and 20 yards.
Ball on the 6. It's on the right hash. The Rams looking for their first touchdown of the game. They lead 1-0 on the opening kickoff single by Todd Pinckney. Wong barking out the signals. He'll work under center. Briltz goes in motion right. They pitch it to Olenek off the right side. He spins his way inside the 5, down to about the 2-yard line before he's wrapped up by Rob Stewart, the nose guard. So it'll be a gain of about 4, and Corey Olenek talking to the coaches. They expect a big breakout gain from him.
Corey Olenek is excited about this football game. He was jumping around and national anthem. He get out to the first play of the game. Corey took a draw up the middle for about 20 yards, and he's excited to play football. That time he was spinning and cutting, and second, third, and fourth efforts getting him down to the 2-yard line.
Jason Claremont checks into the football game. He has 17 carries, 63 yards, and 1 touchdown. He is a tailback in the short yardage situation. We can expect him to get the football here. Mike Wong works under center. He'll turn, give it to Claremont. He lunges for the goal line, fumbles the football, and the Okanogan Sun have it. And it's in the waiting arms there of Ryan Sheeman. Or pardon me, Doug Hartle, the halfback, got it. Sheeman made the hit as he met Olenek in the air, so the Rams move it, but a big break there. And the Okanogan Sun are a team that rely on their defense, and it comes up big there as Sheeman, the weak side linebacker, meets Claremont in the air.
Costly mistake by Jason Claremont that time. I think if he would have kept his feet and just run his way through the offensive line, he would have scored the touchdown. And I'm not exactly sure that he didn't. All the football has to do is break the initial plane of the goal line for it to be a touchdown. And Jason fumbled it when he was about 1 yard in. It looked like to me.
Well, the Rams can't afford turnovers, but on a bright side, if you're looking at that things, the Rams move the football effectively against the Sun defense. Here is Orban under center, the former Ram pivot, turns, gives it to James Seeley, the fullback, and he is met immediately by a couple of Regina Rams. Bosovich in there to make the tackle along with Dallas Kronberg. The gain isn't very much. In fact, maybe 1 yard to the 11-yard line.
A key for the Okanogan Sun, Mike, is establishing something else besides Terrence Houston, because the Rams are all keyed up to stop Terrence Houston. There's no secret about that. But if the Sun can establish something else to distract from Terrence Houston, then they can use Terrence more effectively.
Adam Ecker, 2 catches for 90 yards and a touchdown in the regular season. A wide out left, Dan Strakaitis. And rolling out to the left is Orban, throwing back across his body. A wobbler that's nearly intercepted by Jared Hoover. A dangerous pass there by Chris Orban. And now Andy Leeson checks into the football game for his second punt. His first went 36 yards. He'll have to get a boomer away here, Corey Borsa, because he's hemmed in deep at about his 11-yard line, so he'll kick it from about 4 yards deep in his end zone. And the Rams have blocked 2 kicks in the playoffs, once from Corey McKee, once from Doug Hill, and McKee was the benefactor of that Hill block, scooping it up and running it in from 2 yards out for a touchdown against the Hilltop. So maybe they'll come with a punt block here.
Well, the Rams are going to have excellent field position either way, so I wouldn't really be surprised if Coach Losi, the special teams coach of the Regina Rams, decided to send 11 men after this punt, although they do have 2 backs, so at most they'd be sending 10.
The Rams, of course, without their brilliant punt returner. Neil Hughes is out with a broken leg, but they have Jared Hoover and Shane Ostapowicz, 2 capable replacements back there. Leeson stands 4 yards deep in his end zone. Good snap. Rams come after it, and it is blocked. It was blocked by Melnichenko, or Thackeray, that is, and he recovers it. No, it's still loose. Now the Rams have it. Touchdown Rams on the block by Corey Thackeray. Melnichenko is also there, and guess who comes up with it? The All-Canadian Jeff Zimmer, and the Rams have a special teams touchdown.
Great job by Corey Thackeray. I saw he coming off the left-hand side of the line for the Regina Rams. He broke through onto the upbacks of the Okanogan Sun. Absolutely shredded the block of the Okanogan Sun upback and blocked the punt, and then almost recovered it himself. Jeff Zimmer, Johnny on the spot, comes and jumps on the fumble for a touchdown. Gives the Rams a huge boost after fumbling on the goal line.
Well, the Regina Rams had 19 points on special teams against the Saskatoon Hilltops. 4 field goals and an 87-yard return by Neil Hughes for a touchdown. And right away, they have all their points on special teams. A Todd Pinckney single off the opening kickoff, and now his extra point after the blocked punt by Corey Thackeray and the recovery in the end zone by Jeff Zimmer. The try for a point is right through the uprights.
With 9:48 left to go in the opening quarter of this Canadian Bowl, the Rams lead the Okanogan Sun 8-0. And Corey, what a big play by the Rams special team, something they've done all season long.
Yeah, just a fantastic play made by Corey Thackeray and Jeff Zimmer hustling after the ball after Corey Thackeray made that great block on the punt there, and Jeff Zimmer hustling after it to pick it up for the touchdown. Huge momentum for the Regina Rams.
Not something the Okanogan Sun wanted to fall behind this early.
No, you're playing a national championship team in the Regina Rams, and getting down to them 8-0 is tough enough, but then getting down to them 8-0 in their home turf with all the fans behind them, it's going to be a tough task to get back.
Todd Pinckney tees it up at his 45-yard line. His opening kick of the game was an 85-yard single. This one not nearly as deep. It'll come down inside the end zone, though. Aaron David takes it 5 yards deep. He'll bring it straight up the field, cut to his left at the 10. He's across the 15 and will be stopped shy of the 20-yard line. Tackled on the play by Derek Ford. Good special teams play there by Ford.
Yeah, special teams is 1/3 of the football game, Mike, and so far the special teams for the Regina Rams have certainly outplayed the special teams for the Okanogan Sun, and Coach Dennis Losi should take a lot of pride in the job he's done today.
Well, early on, Chris Orban really hasn't moved this Okanogan Sun offense. We'll have to see if the former Regina Ram quarterback can do something here, and you know he's got the jitters in the stomach here playing with the Okanogan Sun in his own backyard.
Yeah, it doesn't help that he's down 8-0 too. You don't want to put any extra pressure on him, but Chris is a mature young man. I'm sure he'll come out all right.
Backs in the eye behind Orban. He pitches it to Terrence Houston, the outstanding offensive player in the CJFL this year. He tries the right side, but Jeff Zimmer comes up with a great ankle tackle. There's the outstanding offensive player on the outstanding defensive player.
Yeah, and that time the outstanding defensive player won that battle, Mike, and Jeff Zimmer is just a great football player. So is Terrence Houston, both two incredible athletes who come out every day and give 110%, and that time Jeff Zimmer came out on top.
It looked like that play was slow developing.
Yeah, well, you got to get some momentum at the line of scrimmage. The offensive line for the Okanogan Sun have got to get some movement on that defensive line of the Rams.
Second down, ball on the right hash at the 18 to the Okanogan Sun. They trail 8-0. Orban rolling to his left, throws back across his body, caught by Terrence Houston, but he'll be dragged down short of the first down at about the 26, maybe the 27-yard line. Corey McKee got a hold of him first, and he was finally dragged down on the play by Sheldon Gray. Good job by the rookie out of Miller.
Yeah, Sheldon Gray, as all these rookies have all year, have done an outstanding job in playing for the Rams. They've stepped up across the board. The whole rookie class has done a fantastic job, and they're keeping it going today.
Well, the Okanogan Sun will have to punt the football away here, trailing 8-0 to the Regina Rams. The Rams have dangerous special teamers back there. We'll see if they can break one.
Andy Leeson, who had his last punt blocked and has one good punt for 36 yards, stands back at his 11-yard line. Hoover and Ostapowicz to our broadcast left, right on the 55-yard line. Good snap to Leeson. Rams come after it. It's a good kick, a wobbler that's going to go over the head of the return man. Hoover will let it bounce down, pick it up at his 41 on the far side of the field, and doesn't get much. He's wrapped up as he gets to the 45-yard line. Over there to make the tackle is a backup linebacker, Doug Bankert, and the Rams offense trots out of the field. Pete, you're down on the sidelines. What's the mood after the block, punt, and recovery in the end zone?
Well, especially after that special teams play by Corey Thackeray, the Rams bench absolutely exploded on defense. However, Erwin Klempner, ever the cautious one, said, we got a lot of football left to play, boys. But let me tell you, if Jeff Zimmer's any indication, the silent assassin is about as vocal as I've ever seen him in his junior football career. He is ready to play today.
On first down, they pitch it to Olenek off the right side, tries to turn the corner. He's strung up, but breaks a couple of tackles and is finally corralled by Chris Zimmerman at the 50-yard line. The gain is 4, but it was a long 4 yards. Good job by the halfback, Doug Hartle, to string him out.
Yeah, Doug Hartle came up and did force Corey Olenek to strung him out onto the sideline, but he didn't make the play when he had the chance, and Corey defeated 2 tackles there, broke 2 tackles, and picked up a good 4 or 5 yards on first down.
Troy Gordon will come to a wide out right. Left, it's Ryan Smith. The slot left is Jason Claremont. Right, it's Chris Warnicki. The backs are in the eye. Briltz in front of Olenek. 3-man front for the Okanogan Sun. They do have 4-man fronts as well. Here's a deep draw to Olenek. He stumbles as he gets to the line of scrimmage and is down at the 51-yard line. The man who got a piece of him was Chris Zimmerman. Mike Latondra was there to tag him to the turf, and the Rams punt team will come on for the first time in this football game. Pete Pasco mentioned on the sidelines about how the bench exploded. there's got to be a bit of pressure for the Rams, even if they don't admit it. It's their last junior game. There's no tomorrow, basically.
No, that's true, Mike. But as Frank said before, there's always pressure on the Regina Rams. When you've won 14 out of 16 national championships, people expect you to win. The fans of Regina expect the Rams to win. They've gotten used to it. So there's always going to be some pressure on you. The coaching staff does a great job in trying to stop that from distracting the players.
Eric Duchesne, who had 3 punt return touchdowns in the regular season for the Sun, is on the near side of the field. He'll come up to field it, but is taken by his partner, Aaron David, at the 23. David on the right hash is dropped across the 30 to about the 31-yard line. Derek Boyd is down to make the tackle. Derek Boyd is in last year's Canadian Bowl. Tackled Terrence Houston on 3 punt returns and probably saved touchdowns for the Rams in that game.
The fire plug out of Belfort Collegiate, Derek Wood, he gets excited when it comes game day, and he's a player. He's a small man, but he has a big heart, and he plays with every inch of that heart.
The Okanogan Sun, as I mentioned, coming into this football game, 99 points in the playoff rounds. They haven't given up more than 10 points in any of their playoff games. Right now they've surrendered 8. 8-0 Rams with 6:28 left to go. It looks like offside against the Okanogan Sun. We have 6:25 left to go in the opening quarter, and the Sun jump early. They look a little nervous, Corey.
They look a little frustrated, to be honest, Mike. They've had nothing for field position. They've had a punt blocked after they made a good play to save a touchdown on a fumble by Jason Claremont. They had the ensuing punt blocked. They've had nothing for field position and have established nothing on offense. So they are reeling a bit.
It's a team that graduated 15 players, lost another 10 to university or other programs, and have 30 rookies on their roster. So they do have a young football team out there on the field this afternoon, but full credit for their record coming in the BC champs for the 4th year in a row with a 12-1 mark, including playoffs. 3 receivers to the left. Orban will turn and give it to Houston. He has a big hole. He cuts back against the grain to the right side, and he's up to the 31-yard line, getting back that penalty on the illegal procedure. So it's about a 2nd down and 10 situation as Corey McKee made the stop for the Regina Rams. And talking to Corey at the banquet yesterday, he said he's never been so nervous in all his life, and he played last year in the bowl. Actually, he missed last year's bowl because of an injury, but he has played previously in big games.
Yeah, I had the privilege of coaching Corey at O'Neill High School, and Corey's an excitable guy. He just loves to play football, and he never wants to make a mistake. And right there, we just saw him tackle Terrence Houston one-on-one, and that's not an easy thing to do.
Back to pass, Orban swinging out in the left flats for Houston. He's got blockers in front of him. He's across the 35 and dives for the 40. He's short of a 1st down. Over to make the play was Jason Melnichenko. Jeff Zimmer also in the vicinity, and the Okanogan Sun have to punt for the 3rd straight time.
Yeah, that time, Mike, they tried to set up a screen off to the left-hand side using Terrence Houston, and they had a good setup. They had a lot of room, but they needed too many yards for the 1st down, leaving them 3rd and probably 2, and the Okanogan Sun coaches decide to punt the ball.
Shane Ostapowicz will drop back to the far side of the field as the Rams go left to right in your radio dial here in the opening quarter with 5:23 left to go in the opening quarter. Ostapowicz stands at the 36-yard line, and on the short side of the field, the right side of the field, that is 40, is Jared Hoover. The punter, Leeson, stands at his 25, has to step to his right to take the snap, barely gets it away. It's a wobbly kick down to Hoover at his 42 on the near right sideline. Flag comes down. He'll shift his field back to the left side and stumbles and falls at the 42. He had lots of real estate to the left side, but I think this one's coming back. There's a red hanky on the field. The Regina Rams offense now will trot on with a score 8-0, and really they've moved the football well. Pete Pascoe's down at the bench. Pete?
Mike, if the guys on the Rams bench are looking for any motivation, I'm sure they're not lacking for any this afternoon, but a little extra, all they have to do is look across the field. A healthy contingent of folks made the trip from Kelowna this afternoon. They're vocal. They want to have something to cheer for, and the Rams want to make sure that they're awfully silent all afternoon.
Yeah, they were loud in pregame warm-ups, and in fact, the East Side press box is open. The Rams paying tribute to some of their sponsors and volunteers. They've opened it up and serving some beverages over there, and they're enjoying the sun on the far side of the field. We're enjoying a toasty press box here for a change, Corey.
Yes, it is a change, Mike. You got that right. But yeah, it is Rams appreciation of the sponsors and of the volunteers and the people who make this program so successful. They deserve to be up in a warm box drinking a cold refreshment, whatever it may be.
One guy we'll mention in a moment. He deserves a lot of credit for this Canadian Bowl, as do all the other volunteers. We'll get to him in a moment. Wong throws a slot back hitch to the left side for Warnicki. Gets a block from Claremont and then is wrestled down by Ryan Bridge as he gets to the 40-yard line. Ryan Folk also over there on the stop. Folk, the All-Canadian in the secondary. A short gain, probably about 2 or 3 yards on the play. Bob Pelton won Executive of the Year yesterday at the Canadian CJFL Awards Banquet. There's a guy that has sacrificed about a month and a half of his law practice to put this thing together.
Oh, Bob's worked tremendously hard, along with a lot of other volunteers, but Bob was a chairperson of the Canadian Bowl. He did an absolutely fantastic job. Credit goes to all the volunteers. Last night's banquet was great, and today's game is looking wonderful so far.
Wong from the shotgun looks left, a leaping grab made on the far side by Ryan Smith as the Sun were sitting back in his own defense. Smith makes the catch at the 51-yard line, good for a first down. Daniil Whitehouse, the corner on the far side of the field, made the tackle, but it's a first down for the Regina Rams as they continue to move the chains. And Mike Wong, as he has since that 4th game of the year when he threw 5 interceptions, has been very patient. 5 of 5 for 64 yards. You can't get any better than that.
No, Mike's playing very well, and the Okanogan Sun are dropping off into zones, allowing Mike and the receivers to find an open area.
Hidden ball trick to Chris Briltz, but the Sun snuffed that one out for no gain. The tackle made there by Ryan Folk. Super job by Folk to come up and make the tackle from his halfback spot. That hidden ball trick hasn't been as successful as it was earlier on in the year.
No, once you've been burned by it once or twice, and the Sun were burned by it last year a couple times, they're going to catch on to it. The Sun defense is a very good defense. They're probably one of the strongest defenses in the BC League, and it's going to be a real test for the Rams to march the ball on these guys.
Wong from the shotgun, 3 receivers right. Ryan Smith, the only receiver left on second down. Wong throws right, and catching it in traffic is Jason Claremont up near the 50. He's short of a first down by about a yard, maybe a yard and a half, and I'm sure Frank McChrystal will probably go after this one the way his offense has been moving, although in the last short yardage situation, the Rams fumbled the football in the Okanogan end zone. And they are going for it, Corey, as Dallas Kronberg checks in along with Jeff Zimmer, who has a touchdown in this football game. The Rams' only one so far on the recovery after the block punt by Corey Thackeray.
Yeah, the Rams are going to their short yardage formation, and this play is not called. This play is called on the line of scrimmage. Mike Wong will sit over and look at which side he wants to attack, and then he'll call it right then, and the boys will adjust and attack from there.
Looks like they're going to the left side. They turn, give it to Claremont, and he puts his head down and should have a first down, but there is a red hanky on the field. Maybe a legal procedure against the Rams. They have been flagged a couple of times for having their backs in motion too close to the line, but no. The Okanogan Sun thought it was against the Rams. In fact, it's against the team in orange, and the Regina Rams have another first down with 2:35 to go here in this opening quarter. They're moving the football right now as the ball is on the 49-yard line, I think. Good job there, and Claremont must have heard your cue, Corey. Pete maybe filled him in down there on the sideline because he did not dive. He kept his head down and his feet moving.
Well, Jason Claremont is a load for anyone to tackle. He's 220 pounds. He's works out extremely hard in the weight room, and for someone to take him when he's got to run at you and stop you right on the line of scrimmage would be one heck of a feat at any level. So I don't know if Jason needs to go in the air. He's strong enough and big enough that he can run people over.
Rams accepted the penalty instead of the run. They have it first down at the Okanogan 45. Ball on the right hash. Wong, play action pass, looking right, good protection, throws, sails it, but it's caught! Nice catch in zone defense by Shane Ostapowicz, the rookie out of Lebolis. He spun down near the 20, the Okanogan Sun making the tackle. Eric Duchesne also over there was Doug Hartle. Good job there by Mike Wong to thread the needle.
Nice job by Mike. Mike had his choice there. The Sun dropped off into his own defensive cover 3 where the free safety goes deep middle and the halves come to the sideline. He had Shane Ostapowicz here, but he had Chris Warnke for a touchdown on the streak on the same side. He didn't get to see him. Chris was wide open.
Now Olenek stays into block. Wong from the shotgun. Here comes the blitz. He looks left as Wong throws for Claremont, running the flag, makes the catch inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. Covering on the play was Ryan Folk, and Jason Claremont is taking Folk to task early on.
Yeah, and then, as in most defenses, when you get deep into their zone, they're going to blitz, and that causes man-to-man coverage for the receivers. And Jason Claremont, man-to-man, beats Ryan Folk on the deep flag, gives the Rams first and goal from the 2.
Shane Ostapowicz comes in from the bench with the play. The Rams looking for their second touchdown, first on offense. They fumbled down here last time. Smith a wide out left, wide right to the wide side of the field is Ostapowicz. Claremont a slot left, Warnke in motion right. Briltz goes in motion left, and they pitch it to Olenek that side. A flag is down. Olenek walks into the end zone untouched, but we'll have to get word on the penalty. If it stands, it's a touchdown for Corey Olenek, and the Rams will have a 2-touchdown edge. Ryan Smith says it's against the Sun, and it is against the Okanogan Sun. Offside, and the Rams If there were any jitters, they're gone, and the Rams lead it now 14-0 with the PAT to come.
That was practically uncontested. Corey Olenek ran a pitch off the left-hand side behind the lead block of fullback Chris Briltz. And Corey wasn't touched 5 yards into the end zone. He was wide open. Great job by blocking by both the offensive line, Chris Briltz, as well as the receivers on the left side of the Ram offense.
Well, in the playoffs, Corey Olenek coming into this football game at 21 carries for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, make that 3. And in this football game, he has 5 carries for 30 yards. Ostapowicz to take a knee for the PAT. From Pinckney, it's down, it's up, it's good. And the Rams lead it 15-0 with 1:44 to go here in the opening quarter.
The Rams could not have scripted a better start to this football game, Mike. Up 15 points in the first quarter. They've stopped them on defense. They have a young defensive line. They've done a great job with Terrence Houston, and the defense have done a great job containing the pass game, and Chris Orban of the Okanogan Sun. Things could not have worked out better so far for the Regina Rams.
You got to feel good for Corey Olenek, a 2-yard touchdown run in the last 2 Canadian Bowls the Rams have been in. He couldn't be a part of it because of injuries, but he comes up with a big touchdown here, and he has something to prove going up against Terrence Houston.
Yeah, Corey came into this game. He wasn't spoken to much all week. He was sort of the understudy or the lower thought of the 2 running backs, and Corey certainly does want to prove that he is an excellent running back, and he's doing that today.
Todd Pinckney had trouble teeing the football up. He'll redo it here at his 45-yard line and get a hold, it looks like, from Jason Melnichenko. As the ball falls off for the second time, we see the shadows covering the 40 to the 50-yard line to our broadcast left. A nice afternoon for football here in November. You couldn't have scripted a better day for weather also.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see that the fans have come out to support the Rams too. It's excellent.
Good kick by Pinckney. Once again, not as deep. It'll drive Duchesne back inside his goal line. He's up across the 10, the 20, out to the 30, and up across the 30 to about the 31-yard line as he's dragged down. Actually, they'll mark him back at the 25-yard line. And the Okanogan Sun are having trouble getting any good field position to start this football game.
Yeah, well, the special teams, as we spoke about before, Mike, are doing a fantastic job in containing the dangerous running backs and return men for the Okanogan Sun. As I said before, the young players, Brant Schmuck making that tackle there, the young players for the Rams are doing a great job.
It's important for the Okanogan Sun, too, here to establish someone other than Terrence Houston, something they haven't been able to do so far. 2 receivers to either side, backs in the eye. They go in motion. They fake the give to Houston. Orban throwing out into the right flats. The pass is caught there, and up around the 30-yard line for the Okanogan Sun, dragged out of bounds. Jason Melnichenko makes the tackle on James Seeley, the fullback. Good catch there. That's like a short running play.
That's exactly what the Okanogan Sun need to do, Mike. That's a little bit of play action with the focus on Terrence Houston. The people come to Terrence Houston are attracted by the outstanding offensive player in Canada. The defense that goes to him, they dump it off to the fullback, picking up good positive yards on first down. Good play calling by the Okanogan Sun coaching staff.
2nd down and short here for the Okanogan Sun. Orban will work under center, his club trailing by a score of 15-0 here early on in the Canadian Bowl in the first quarter.
Here's a pitch, or they fake the pitch and give it to the fullback, Seeley, and he is smoked right at the line of scrimmage, dropped by Dallas Kronberg and a host of other Regina Rams as they unpile the debris there. Down to Pete Pasco at the Ram bench.
Mike, you might wonder if Mike Wong might not be suffering some jitters. This is, of course, his first year as a Rams starter at quarterback.
Eight of 8 for 113 yards so far in this football game. The Sun have to punt again for the 4th time in this game. One of them was blocked. 36.3-yard average right now for Andy Leeson. Wobbly snap back to Leeson. The punt isn't much better. Hoover fields it at the 54. The Sun try to go left and is wrapped up. A flag comes down. I think face masking against the offensive lineman Warren Depker, who's also on special teams. So the Rams could be benefactors here of a penalty, Corey.
Great field position is going to be coming for the Regina Rams here. Jared Hoover fielded the punt at about his own 53. Only got a couple yards forward, but with the penalty given to the Sun, the Rams are going to start with great field position.
Just a 23-yard punt there from Andy Leeson. So the Sun offense isn't doing anything, and their special teams, as far as their punting goes, hasn't done much either. The longest punt so far for Leeson in this football game has been a mere 46 yards, or 46 yards, pardon me, but he got a good bounce on that punt. They've all been around the 35-yard mark, and that one was just 23 yards. After the face masking, the Rams have it on the 39 of the Sun. Ball on the right hash. Wong will work under center. Touchdown by Jeff Zimmer and one by Corey Olenek on a little 2-yard run. Let's put the Rams in a 15-0 lead. Wong, play action pass again. Here comes the rush rolling to his right, and he won't get away. Dropped in the sack by the All-Canadian. Rob Stewart back at the 49-yard line. Big loss on the play there for the Regina Rams as nothing was open. I think that was a coverage sack.
Yeah, well, that time, Mike, the Rams did a little play action fake in the draw to Corey Olenek. And as you said, the All-Canadian nose guard from the Sun, Rob Stewart, number 55, came and broke through the line of scrimmage and did a great job in defeating the block and making the sack for a loss of about 10 yards.
12 yards officially on the loss. Second down now and 22 yards to go for the Regina Rams. Ball on the 49 of the Sun. The Rams lead by a score of 15-0. Everybody out in a pattern. Wong, half roll to his left. Good protection. Fires it downfield. Leaping catch made by Warnicki in traffic, and then he's wrapped up at the 40-yard line after a 9-yard gain, tackled on the play by Mike Latondra. And on the final play of the quarter, the Regina Rams will be in field goal range. Maybe we'll see what Frank does when we come back. Pinckney skies a punt, but Aaron David takes it out of his end zone and brings it out about the 13-yard line. Then a late flag comes down. What a kick by Todd Pinckney into the wind as the Rams begin the second quarter. And instead of trying the 47-yard field goal into the wind, they punt the football. David ran it out of his end zone to the 13-yard line. But because he ran it out of his end zone, and the rule in the CJFL, if you run it out of your end zone and you don't get out to the 20, you automatically get the ball out to the 20-yard line. But there is a marker down. Looks like an illegal block against the Okanogan Sun. So they'll start back, I believe, at their 10-yard line after the penalty.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right there, Mike. I think the Sun are going to get the ball on their own 10. Great punt by Todd Pinckney. Frank McChrystal choosing to punt the ball instead of kick the field goal, the 48-yard field goal. Because they are going into the wind. Todd has the leg on a normal day, but going into the wind, it's a tough kick. Instead, he hammers a beautiful end over, turns the ball over punt, and the Sun are starting deep in their own field, in their own side of the field, and they've got to put some stuff together here and score some points, or else they could get buried soon.
The Rams have 156 yards total offense. The Sun just 33. They've got to do something here, and they're in the shadows of their goal post again. They're at their 10-yard line. Ball in the middle of the field. Rams have a 4-man front. The Sun, 2 receivers to either side. They've got Seeley in front of Houston. They turn and give it to Houston. The tailback bounces it off the right side. He's got a big seam. He's across the 30, 35, and is tackled at the 39-yard line. Maybe a touchdown-saving tackle by Derek Wolbaum, and there's the Terrence Houston we've heard about.
Yeah, exactly, Mike. It was just a matter of time. He's so good, you cannot stop a guy all that time. It's too tough. And that time he broke through for about a 29, 30-yard pickup for the Okanogan Sun. And that's something the Sun needs to give themselves a little momentum.
Well, they've got a rookie fullback in James Seeley. He's a 19-year-old, 5'10", 195 pounds from Medicine Hat, Crescent Heights. And they're really marveled at this kid. He had 67 carries for 319 yards in the regular season and 1 touchdown, but he's a better blocker than a runner. Rolling to his left is Orban on first down. Looking downfield, sidearms it through the hands of Strikaitis. He was covered on the play by Jeff Zimmer. That's the catch you need to make. It was right in his hands. Orban kind of sidearmed that one out there, and the Rams coach has said if they can get some heat on Chris Orban, it would be to their benefit because he likes to throw off his back foot when he's in trouble.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Mike. Chris, and that time rolled out on to the left-hand side of the Okanogan Sun's offense, and the Sun ran the double out that time, and Chris Tate elected to take the shorter of the outside, about 10 yards, and that was a ball that was there, and that pass, that catch has to be made for the Sun to be successful.
Terrence Houston is out of the ball game on the far side of the field at his bench. He hobbled off. He's replaced by Steve Zamudio. Orban back to Paso, setting up the screen to the right. It's complete to Jeremy White, the wide receiver. He's hit and dropped by Corey McKee, and coming over to finish him off was Kevin Barron. A short gain. The Sun will be 7 yards short of a first down, and they punted on every one of their possessions. They'll punt it once again in this football game. Good job there by Corey McKee, a second big tackle on the play, and a good job by Barron to scrape down and finish him off.
Great job by Corey McKee that time. As you said, Mike, that time the Sun rolled out to the left again, gave the same look they did last time on a little play-action rollout, but this time they elected to come back to a screen to the right-hand side, and they had it set up well. Corey McKee just made a big play and blew it up.
Standing back at his 28-yard line is Andy Leeson. Aaron David flanked out way right in a covered spot. High snap. Leeson pulls it down. He has to tuck it under because the rush was heavy, and he is dropped. The Rams punt block team does it again. Corey McKee and Corey Thackeray converge on the punter, And another special teams letdown by the Okanogan Sun.
Corey McKee is playing one heck of a football game. Again, how that first punt was blocked. Corey Thackeray took on the upback of the Okanogan Sun, absolutely destroyed him and made the punt block. This time Corey McKee did it from the other side of the Rams defense there, and Mr. Leeson had to tuck the punt on and try and run for the first down, and he got nowhere as Corey made a great play.
Ball in the middle of the field at the 33. Rams trying to convert on that miscue by Leeson. Looked like he bobbled the snap. It didn't look like that bad a snap. Wong on first down, play action pass. He's airing it up the right side. Good coverage. It's broken up. There was triple coverage there on Chris Warnicki. Batting a football away over there was Ryan Bridge. Also on the far side of the field was Doug Hartle and Eric Duche. Not a good pass from Mike Wong.
No, Mike underthrew that one. Chris Warnicki did have a step or two on the defensive back of the Okanogan Sun, but Mike had to throw it a lot earlier and get it out there so Chris could run under it instead of having to stop and try to fight for it that way.
Kind of a funny wind in this football game. The Rams are into the wind right now, but it dies down at times. As we started this game, it was -3 with the west-southwest wind at 19. Second down and 10 Rams. Here comes the late blitz from the safety, Corey May. Wong steps up. He's hit as he throws and throws it underneath Chris Warnicki. Pass is incomplete, and the Rams will have to send on their special team again. And I think they'll probably punt this football again. That's a long field goal. It'll be about a 40-yarder from here and might be out of the range of Todd Pinckney, although he does have a strong leg. But I think Frank's going to punt it and hem the Sun in deep, and that's a wise move because they haven't shown any ability to move the football to this point.
Yeah, exactly. Frank's using his brain here and not going to get a little greedy with the Okanogan Sun. And I think Todd has been working on angling punts to the sidelines, and this is the perfect opportunity for him to get one, see if we can get one down deep and out of bounds, so to trap the Okanogan Sun in deep.
Rams going right to left on your radio dial. To our left to receive, it's Eric Duchesne and Aaron David in their end zone about 2 yards deep. Pinckney angling it to the far right side of the field. Coming up the field, there is Duchesne at his 5. He'll take it up the 10. The speedster across the 20 and is wrapped up at the 22. Derek White is down on the tackle. Rams special teams have excelled, haven't they, Pete?
Absolutely right, Michael. Dennis Losey seems like a proud parent here on the Rams sideline right now. He's getting a lot of slaps on the back for his job as special teams coach this afternoon. The Rams showing a lot more aggressively in terms of covering kicks. Every time the Okanogan Sun drop back to kick, Corey Thackeray and Jeff Zimmer are just giving them fits, dropping through the line, and looks as though they're not going to stop doing that anytime soon.
Well, the Okanogan Sun, maybe they have to move the football every time because the punting team looks like they're causing them fits, as Pete mentioned. Under center, it's Chris Orban. He'll turn and give it to Terrence Houston off the left side. He darts up across the 25 near the 30-yard line and is rolled back inside the 30 by a host of Rams. Derek Wohlbaum over there, Jeff Zimmer also in on the tackle. And like we said, there's an interesting matchup. You can bet Jeff Zimmer will be spying Terrence Houston all over the field.
Oh, yeah, the Rams defense knows that Terrence Houston is the only way that the Okanogan Sun are going to win this football game, and they've got to stop him. But to the Suns' credit, they have started in the last 2 drives at least to get Terrence Houston the football and get positive yards out of it. That time 8 on first down. 2nd and 2 is a lot easier to make than 2nd and 10.
Seeley in front of Houston, 2 receivers to either side. Rams stack the line. They give it to Houston. He tries to spin it to the outside. He won't get the first down. He started up inside, made a nice move to cut to the left, and Misha Bosevich came over to make the play along with Kevin Barron. Barron, the relative veteran of that front 4, although Chad Zipchen is back, but he'll be platooning with Dallas Kronberg and also Curtis Lawrence, the first-year player out of Wynyard.
Yeah, to even fathom that the Rams would be in this situation for the defensive line at the start of the year, you couldn't do it. 3 rookies will get a lot of playing time in this football game on the defensive line. Curtis Lawrence, a rookie out of Wynyard, Brian Schmuck, the rookie linebacker who's playing defensive end out of O'Neill, and Dallas Kronberg, the D tackle from Tom. All will see a large portion of this football game on the field, and Kevin Barron in his 2nd year is, as you said, Mike, the relative veteran.
Well, he gets a good spot, this Terrence Houston, and the Okanogan Sun, if I'm not mistaken, have their first down of the football game with 11:10 left to go here in this opening half. Maybe a big momentum building play there for the Okanogan Sun as Kevin Snell checks in from the bench of the play. Adam Eckert will break as a wide receiver left. Snell, a wide out to the right. The slot left is Dan Strakatis, 1 catch for 12 yards in the regular season. The slot right is Jeremy White. He has 1 grab in this football game for 3 yards. Seeley in front of Houston in the backfield in an I formation. and they roll out right with Orban. He's looking to pass. He's got lots of room. He'll tuck and run. Chris Orban up across the 40 down the right sidelines. Crushing block on the near side of the field by Kevin Snell on Corey McKee, allowing Orban to walk near the Rams bench for a first down. Wow, what a hit there by Kevin Snell. And Chris Orban said that's one thing about his receivers. They can block, and a big gain there for the Okanogan Sun.
Yeah, Kevin Snell got a good chunk of Corey McKee there and hammered him to the turf on the comeback block. He ran his pattern, saw Chris Orban was going to carry the ball, did a great job coming back, and he got a good piece of Corey McKee, and I see him talking on the field right now.
Some signs of life now from the Okanogan Sun offense. They've pieced together 2 first downs in a row. Quick one-step drop from Orban, throws it out into the right flats for White, makes one nice move around McKee, and then dives for a first down up at the midfield stripe. Good job there by Jeremy White. Good job by Bosevich to make the tackle. Nifty move there from Jeremy White.
Yeah, good job by Jeremy White, just catching a little out on the flats to the right-hand side of the Okanogan Sun along the Rams sideline. Beat Corey McKee, the initial tackler, and spun his way for a first down for the Okanogan Sun, or at least close to.
Ball in the right hash at the midfield stripe. 10:38 left to go here in the opening half of the Canadian Bowl. The Rams have a 15-0 lead. They got their touchdowns on a recovery in the end zone by Jeff Zimmer off a block punt from Corey Thackeray, and a Corey Olenek touchdown run at 2 yards. And, of course, the opening kick single by Todd Pinckney of 85 yards to give him a 15-0 lead. Exactly what the doctor ordered here for the Rams to keep this crowd in it.
Hi, yeah, I just noticed Derek Wolbaum wandering off. Pete, do you got any information for us?
Absolutely, Corey. Derek Wolbaum looks to have severely injured his left wrist. In fact, these Rams players, when they saw that one, the best they could say was just, owie. You have to feel bad for Wolbaum, the kind of year he's had. Hopefully he can return, but it doesn't look good right now.
And here's the give to Houston, and he powers his way crashing through the line. About the 52 of the Regina Rams. Jeff Zimmer and Bosevich converge on the tackle. Dallas Kronberg also in on the stop, a gain of about 3 yards. Fortunately for the Rams, though, they've had to use Corey Thackeray and Scott McCauley at that weak side linebacking spot. So they've been ravaged by injuries, but they've also got that experience now having to use those young guys.
Exactly, Mike. And just looking at these great matchups, Terrence Houston against Jeff Zimmer, you can see him colliding in the lines. It's just fantastic stuff. 2 all-stars are playing great football today.
Ball in the right hash. The Ram 52. Orban pitches it to Houston off the right side. Good block by the slot back there, Strakaitis, and a nice run by Terrence Houston as he bounces inside the 45 to about the 43-yard line. It's another first down for the Okanogan Sun, a gain of 9 for Terrence Houston. He's starting to get some yards on the ground now. 9 carries for 56 yards.
And the Sun are not disguising anything at all. They're going student body left. They're bringing everyone. They'll go trips receiver formation to the left. They'll bring them down, trying to crash in on the linebackers of the Regina Rams and force them in and let Terrence Houston get out. The Rams defense know it's coming, and they're still having a little bit of trouble stopping it.
Adam Eckert, a wide out left to the short side of the field right. It is Kevin Snell. The slot right is Jeremy White left. It's Dan Strakaitis. Zamudio now in the ballgame in front of Houston, and they whistle the play down. Too much time, I think, against the Okanogan Sun there as Zamudio moved early.
Yeah, we're going to get a time count violation against the Okanogan Sun. Mike, it's going to be 1st and 15. Looking at Brian Schmuck, the rookie out of O'Neill, playing that defensive end. What a task to take on. Poor guy, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's a tough, hard-nosed football player, and he's coming to play, but he's getting cut blocked and double-teamed, and it's great to see a young man like that respond.
First down and 15 now for the Okanogan Sun, and they try the option. Orban keeps it off the right side, and he's to the 42-yard line, a gain of about 6 yards. They haven't used that option today until that play. We heard they're an option team. Orban likes to run the option with Houston, but they don't execute it as well as some other teams.
No, it's not exactly the Notre Dame option, but it's Terrence Houston in the backfield. It's always dangerous. And I'm really impressed with Chris Orban running the football, though. On a couple times he scrambled and picked up good yards.
Yeah, Orban in this football game, 2 carries, 17 yards, 191 yards rushing on 36 carries in the regular season. He's rolling to the left. He's going to tuck it under and take it up the field, and it's hammered at the 35-yard line. Hello, Mr. Jeff Zimmer. What a hit there.
Jeff Zimmer bringing a load. As we saw in that highlight film of him last night at the awards banquet receiving Defensive Player of the Year, when he hits you, you don't go further. You just don't go further. He's such a strong man, and he knows how to play this game. And he gets in the hitting position and hits you, you just don't go forward.
Well, the ball will be placed on the 35-yard line. It is third down for the Okanogan Sun and about 3 yards to go for the Sun, and they're going to try a field goal. Ryan Mock comes in to kick a field goal. He was 18 of 36 in the regular season. His long attempt in the regular season was 47 yards, and he made it from 47. This one will come from 42. Taylor Field's always an adventure to kick in. Here's the snap. Orban puts it down. Mock puts it up. It's got the distance and the accuracy. Ryan Mock gives the Sun some life. 8:03 to go here in the opening half of the Canadian Bowl. The Sun are on the board.
It's 15-3, Regina Rams leading here in the second quarter of the Canadian Bowl. And Corey, it's only 3 points, but a huge 3 points there for the Okanogan Sun.
Exactly, Mike. 3 points is something on the board, and it gives something the Okanogan Sun can build off of and work towards, gaining some momentum for themselves.
And for a change, we're starting to see some life in that Okanogan Sun sideline as far as offense goes.
Yeah, exactly. It's tough sledding when your offense isn't producing and getting yards for you and giving your defense a rest and a chance to regroup themselves and stop that powerful Ram offense.
The Rams wanted to establish the running game this week. They have thus far. We'll see if they continue on the ground here on first down from their 35 after the 42-yard field goal by Ryan Mock. In the backfield, it's Corey Olenek. Takes the pitch to the right side. He has a bit of a hole, bounces off a couple of tacklers, and is finally tackled from behind at the 42-yard line. Over there was Rob Stewart, the All-Canadian. Also in on the stop for the Okanogan Sun was Mike Latendre, the outstanding All-Canadian linebacker as well. Good run there, though, by Corey Olenek off the right side.
Yeah, a pitch out to the right side for Corey Olenek. Chris Briltz leading from the fullback position. He lined up over on the right side just outside the tackle there, and Corey Olenek picked up 7 yards on first down. That's a lot of yards on first down. It gives the Rams offense a lot of options as far as play action, as far as running or passing the ball.
Briltz in front of Olenek again. He has a touchdown in this game, does Olenek. Deep draw to Olenek off the left side, cuts it up the middle. He has a first down, and he's met at the 46 and thrown to the turf there by Ryan Folk, another All-Canadian there on defense for the Okanogan Sun. Nifty running there, though, by Corey Olenek.
Corey Olenek is really trying to steal the show today. He's taken over the Rams offense, and he wants the ball, and he's not getting tackled by the first or second tackler for the Okanogan Sun. It's taking 2, 3, 4 guys to bring down Corey Olenek, and that's leadership.
Chris Briltz has done a great job blocking so far in this football game for Corey Olenek, and he's been out with an ankle injury, but he's back in the football game and doing a great job.
Yeah, Chris Briltz has done a great job all year. He's a leader on and off the field.
Couple of runs by Corey Olenek, and here's a third one, but he's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Dropped by Rob Stewart, who's been a force at nose guard for the Okanogan Sun. Corey Olenek starting to chew up some yards on the ground. Corey Borsey's got 8 carries now for 45 yards. We'll go down to Pete Pasco down on the bench.
Just a quick update on that injury to weak side linebacker Derek Wolbaum. It's that left shoulder, the same one that has knocked him out of the lineup for so many weeks earlier this season. The injury, as described to me, is a partial dislocation, which I would suggest means his day is completely over.
Second down and 11 Rams. The ball in their 46. They give it to Claremont on the slot, back around to the right side, and he's deep into Okanogan secondary before he's wrapped up by Doug Hartle inside Sun territory at the 53-yard line. He'll be short of a first down by about a yard and a half, Corey. Nice run, though, and a good call by Bernie Schmidt, the O coordinator.
Great call by Bernie Schmidt. They've been going Corey Olenek left, Corey Olenek right, and as a little change up there, they give it to Jason Claremont on the reverse through the middle there, and Jason picks up good 10 yards, allowing the Rams to gamble here on third down, about third and 1.5, as you said, Mike.
And they do bring in Jeff Zimmer and Dallas Kronberg, the two big guys here in this short yarded situation. Claremont will be the deep back. They're 1 of 2 in these short yarded situations. They fumbled one and made one. Wong will keep it himself, and Mike Wong should be close to a first down, and I think he will have the first down if he gets the spot. The Rams signaling they've got it. The Rams offense, Corey, I'm very impressed with the way they've been moving the football so far. Mike Wong, 9 of 11, 123 yards passing. They've been led on the ground by Corey Olenek with 44 yards rushing. Jason Claremont has 13 yards, but really, this offense has been moving at will for the most part.
Yeah, and for most part, Mike, you're right. Except for the odd good play by Rob Stewart, the nose tackle for the Okanogan Sun, who's forced the Rams into second and long situations. The Rams have done a good job, and here we're going to get a measurement to see whether the Rams continue the drive or turn the ball over.
Well, it looked like it wouldn't even be close from where we're standing, but we're about 200 yards away. But they do give the first down to the Regina Rams, and the fans, a rousing applause for the green and white. They've been almost perfect here so far in this football game so far, leading 15-3 with 5:15 left to go until halftime, and Chris Briltz now checks in, the fullback, fifth-year player out of Usher. There's one guy I'm happy for. He was having an MVP season until he got hurt with that ankle injury, kind of left out of the mix with Neil Hughes in there. Neil goes down and Briltz steps in. Testament to the Rams' depth on offense. Four-man front now for the Okanogan Sun. Claremont in motion to the left. They turn and give a deep draw to Olenek off the right side, and Olenek fights his way to the 50-yard line. Chris Zimmerman got a hold of him first from his defensive end spot, so the gain is nothing on the play, and the Rams will have a second down and 10 situation. A deep draw play there for Olenek.
Yeah, that time it was a deep draw, Mike, off to the right-hand side of the Rams offense. Very impressed with Corey Olenek today. Even though that was only a 2-yard pickup on that play, he broke 2 or 3 tackles and was giving second, third, and fourth efforts and picking up those yards. And he's been doing that all day, and that's what wins championships, and that's what the Rams tradition is built on.
Well, the shadows are starting to cover the entire field, at least from the midfield stripe, as Wong drops back to pass, throws, and that one is caught by Warnicki in zone defense once again, and he is down to the 35-yard line of the Okanogan Sun before he's tackled by Ryan Folk. And I talked to Bernie Schmidt earlier in the week, and he thought they could exploit that Sun zone defense because they like to run a lot of zone defense.
Yeah, see, the BC Football League is a little different than the PFC. I think the PFC is more of an open league where they're throwing a lot more, and zone defenses have to be tougher where it's more run-oriented in BC, and so maybe the pass defense lacks a bit, and Bernie Schmidt, the Wizard, is going to exploit that.
Rolling to his right off the shotgun is Wong. He throws the pass, is caught by Claremont, and he's hit immediately in the back by Doug Hartle. The gain is 5. And Wong is starting to use those all-star slot backs. PFC all-star Chris Warnicki and Jason Claremont, one of 4 all-stars in the CJFL for the Regina Rams. The others on offense, Curtis Morgan at center, Jason Melnichenko at his halfback spot, and also, of course, Jeff Zimmer, the All-Canadian. 4 all-stars for the Rams, 6 for the Okanogan Sun, including 4 on defense, and that defense has got a workout so far in this football game. 3:26 and counting to go in the second quarter. The Rams up 15-3. They're looking for more. 2nd and 5 from the Sun 30. They pitch it to Olenek off the right side, short side pass. He's hit, spins off the tackle, and has a first down. Determined run by Corey Olenek. He was clocked by Doug Hartle, but spun up and gets the first down before he's tackled by Mike Latendre.
That's exactly what I was talking about, Mike. He's been doing those runs all day, and that time for a first down, he just keeps going and pumping the legs and working hard. And I think Corey Olenek has taken on the challenge between him and Terrence Houston personally, and he wants to steal the show and take it away from Terrence Houston.
And no offense to his teammate Neil Hughes, but Corey Olenek in his veteran year, the guy that everyone thought would be the premier tailback for the Rams, well, Hughes steps in and gets all the limelight till he breaks his leg. Olenek, very quiet this week, didn't say too many words. He's doing the walk before he does the talk. Here's Wong from the shotgun, high snap, rolling left, throwing. Down for Claremont, and a good defensive play, a catch, and a touchdown for Claremont. Oh my goodness, what a touchdown by Claremont as Ryan Folk got his hand on it, deflected it in the air, but Claremont makes the juggling grab and walks into the end zone. Oh wow, what a touchdown.
And you wonder why he's an All-Canadian. What a football play. The defensive back of the Okanogan Sun, Ryan Folk, made a good defensive play, knocking the ball. He just didn't knock it straight down. Jason Claremont with one hand, his right hand reaches out, tips it up a couple times, and makes the play and scores a touchdown. That's what makes you an All-Canadian, and he deservedly so.
Are you kidding me? Many CFL receivers couldn't make a play like that. And if Jason Claremont works on his speed a little more, I think we just might see that kid in the CFL one day.
Oh, he's a Ray Algard type of a receiver, big, strong guy, catches the ball if it's there for him.
And Pinckney's extra point is good as he kicks it into the bleachers in the end zone to our broadcast left. The Rams have extended their lead to 19, 22-3. 2:51 to go until halftime, and the fans stand and give Claremont his just due as the Rams lead it.
The Rams lead it. They're starting to roll up the points, Corey, and run away with this one.
Yeah, the Okanogan Sun have got to take control on defense and start doing a job on defense, containing the Rams' offense. But full marks goes to Jason Claremont for a catch like that. How do you expect a 19, 20-year-old man to make catches like that?
That's a CFL-type catch. We talk about the Okanogan Sun defense. It's been on the field a lot, so you really can't blame them on that side of the field because they've been doing a good job defensively. They've been on the field for much of this first half.
Yeah, as we said before, Mike, the Okanogan Sun offense has got to get something going to establish some momentum and establish the fact that at least they can move the ball against that Rams defense.
The Todd Pinckney, easily the most improved special teams player for the Rams in the back half of this season, to kick it off again from his 45. The Rams go right to left on your radio dial. The ball hangs up, and it's scooped up there by Eric Duchesne off the left side, and the speedy little return man brings it out across the 40 to the 41-yard line where Jason Melnichenko comes up with a nifty tackle there. And now the Okanogan Sun have great field position, something they didn't in the first quarter.
Yeah, good positive field position for the Okanogan Sun. They're starting at their 41. They have to get something going, Mike, before this first half. Down 19, you're still within 3 scores, but that's a lot of points against a stingy Rams defense. So let's see what the Okanogan Sun offense can do.
Well, the Rams have put some good pressure on the Okanogan Sun quarterback. We'll see if they try to roll Chris Orban out because they've done that quite a bit in this football game and throughout the season.
Yeah, Chris Orban likes to roll out and get out of the pocket.
First down, Sun at their 41. Back to pass is Orban. Rolling to his right, full roll right. Throws over the middle, the pass is through the hands of Jeremy White and falls incomplete, bringing up second down. Good coverage over there by Jason Melnichenko. He has played well.
Yeah, what the Okanogan Sun are trying to do now is move the pocket. They're rolling Chris out left and right, and that time rolling to his right, the strong side for Chris Orban. He tried to, on the run, throw across his body back into the middle of the field, and you're lucky when that doesn't turn into a pick.
Here's Orban back to pass under some serious heat. He'll step out of the pocket, run to his left, and run right into the waiting arms of Corey Thackeray. In for the injured Derek Woolbaum, well short of a first down. And Andy Leeson and the punt team will have to come on to boot this one away. The Sun need some offense, or they need something from their defense, Corey Borsa, to turn the tide here, because this one could get ugly in a hurry.
Exactly, Mike. My sentiments exactly. If the Sun don't put something together, and as you said, it's got to be in one of the 3 aspects of the game, offense, defense, or special teams, somebody's got to make a big play for the Sun to get them back into this football game.
Well, Terrence Houston has been bothered by a thigh problem and a hamstring problem all season long. The latest injury, a thigh injury. He goes off slowly to the Sun bench once again. They better find somebody else in that offensive core to do something, because he might not be able to finish this ball game. Snap back to Leeson. A wobbly kick once again, fielded by Hoover on his 28-yard line. Dodges the first wave of tacklers, ducks another tackle, and rolls his way out to the 35-yard line with a nifty run back of about 7 yards, and he looks like he is in some pain, slow to get up. And the tackle made by Corey May on the play. Good job there by Jared Hoover to dodge a couple of waves of tacklers there. And the Rams offense can really maybe start to put the nail in the Sun coffin. I know we got lots of time left, but 22-3 right now. If they can score again, look out.
Yeah, exactly, Mike. If they put another 7 on the board here in the last 2 minutes, not only is it the score going to be very favorable for the Okanogan Sun, but the momentum would just crush the Okanogan Sun.
Mike Wong will work under center. Everybody out in a pattern. It's a quarterback draw. He'll take it across the 40, straight up the middle of the field, across the 45, and he's met at the 50-yard line. And he ran over the tackler, Chris Zimmerman. Nice run there by Mike Wong. 382 pounds does this Campbell Collegiate Product bench, and he showed his strength there.
That's the best quarterback draw he's ran all year, and he saved it for the right time. Mike, I've given him flack jokingly around the clubhouse that he's not exactly fleet of foot, so he better be able to throw the ball. But there he proved me wrong in picking up a first down for the Rams on the quarterback draw.
On a 15-yard gain, Rams have it first down and 10. Ball on the right hash at their 50-yard line, looking to extend their 22-3 lead. Here's a handoff to Corey Olenek. Nice fake by Wong, and Olenek pounds up the middle of the Sun defense into their territory at the 52-yard line before he's tackled by Ryan Sheeman, the weak side linebacker. Nice run there for Corey Olenek as he is starting to gain some big yards. 11 carries now for 60 yards. Pete?
Michael, I'll tell you what, the Rams honestly feel right now they can score every time they have the ball. Confidence is just amazing in terms of the offense. You'd think they'd be content to run out the final minute and a half of the first half. Not a chance. They're looking to score again.
And now here's the pitch to Olenek off the left side. He's tripped up before he gets to the first down marker. Mike Latendre with a good play. He was being blocked by Curtis Morgan, but fought off the All-Canadian center to trip up Olenek in the backfield. He'll be short of a first down, and now Frank McChrystal has the decision to make, and I don't think there's any decision here. You got to punt the football away.
Yeah, Mike, great play, as you said, by Mike Latondre, the linebacker of the Okanogan Sun. He had Curtis Morgan, the center of the Regina Rams, on his back, and he defeated the block and made the stop in the backfield, forcing the Rams to punt. Now, knowing Frank as I do, don't be surprised if we see a fake punt here. He likes to bury people before halftime.
Terrence Houston is back returning a punt for his first punt return. He had one punt return for a touchdown in the regular season, and we saw that numerous times on his highlight video at the CJFL Awards banquet last night. He's on the near right side at his 10, and over on the far side of the field for the Okanogan Sun, it's Eric Duchesne, their premier punt returner, at his 12. Pinckney to punt it to Duchesne's side. Not a big kick. Bounces down at the 30 and scooped up by Houston at his 20. Started left, reverses his field to the right, and runs right into Derek Whitus. Derek Whitus says hello to Mr. Houston. He tackled Houston 3 or 4 times in the Canadian Bowl last year. Jason Melnichenko also over there on the tackle.
Yeah, Terrence that time tried to take the ball, go left, and then spin back to the right, and he tried, but he didn't get too far after that spin, as Jason Melnichenko and Derek Whitus combined for a good tackle.
Well, the Okanogan Sun have both timeouts left. 51 seconds left to go here until the first half evaporates of this Canadian Bowl. The Rams up 22-3 on a Jason Claremont touchdown grab, a remarkable grab, a Corey Olenek touchdown run, and a Jeff Zimmer recovery in the end zone of a punt block from Corey Thackeray. Todd Pinckney's chipped in 3 converts and 1 kickoff single in this game to give the Rams a 22-3 lead. The only points for the Sun, a 42-yard field goal by Ryan Mock. Orban with everybody out in a pattern. Quick 3-step drop. Looks left, sails it down the middle of the field. It's picked off. No! Dropped by Jared Hoover. It was right in his hands. They tried to hit Jeremy White up the left side seam, but it sailed over his head, and Chris Orban's been off with a lot of his passes.
Yeah, that time Chris sailed that one a little high, and Jeremy White is lucky he still has a head on his shoulders. As free safety Derek Whitus was not far off of tearing his head off. We see it in a previous Canadian championship, I believe Danny Pascu in 93. Absolutely destroyed somebody from the Hamilton Hurricanes.
Andrew Ford.
Poor guy.
But he came back to score a touchdown later. Or Andrew Wells, whatever. Andrew decapitated after that hit. Back to pass. It's Orban looking left. Sets up on the left hash. He'll air it up the left sideline. Nobody home. Jared Hoover, the only man there. In fact, Kevin Snell, the far side wideout, stopped running on the play. And you got to keep after the football. One thing Chris Orban does have is a strong arm.
Yeah, and Chris was trying to throw it up that time and make something happen near the end of the half here, getting a one-on-one matchup with Jared Hoover, and that time he threw it up, but the receiver didn't go after the football.
Don't look now, but maybe we could see a punt block here from the Regina Rams. They have forced 2 big plays on special teams, blocking 1 punt and forcing Andy Leeson to pull down another punt, which the Rams stuffed them deep in the backfield. He'll drop back to punt once again at his 23-yard line. Ostapowicz and Hoover at their 28-yard line to our broadcast right. Rams look like they're coming after it, and here they do come as Doug Hill came right up the middle clean but couldn't get to the ball. It bounces down to Ostapowicz at the 30, and Ostapowicz is dumped by Doug Bankert at the 35-yard line. So the Rams have 29 seconds left to go here in this second quarter with which to work. And I'm sure they'll try to set up Todd Pinckney for a field goal at best. They've got both of their timeouts remaining as well.
Yeah, they're gonna throw the ball up from their own 35, or they may choose to throw the ball from their own 35. See how first down goes. If they get good yards, then they know they got a chance at picking up at least an opportunity for a field goal.
Mike Wong trots out of the field to lead that Ram offense. So far in this football game, Wong, an impressive 12 of 14 for 167 yards and 1 touchdown to Jason Claremont, and a remarkable catch by Claremont. Wong will hand it off, a straight shot up the middle to the fullback, I believe, Chris Brills. He'll pound ahead for about 2 yards to the 37-yard line, and the Rams may be content here, Corey, just to run out the clock, contrary to what we said.
Yeah, exactly, Mike. And I don't know why the Okanogan Sun maybe wouldn't call a timeout here and stop the clock. And that's exactly what they're doing, as I say.
Well, the Sun had 18 sacks in the regular season, a couple more in the playoffs. they haven't really put any heat on Mike Wong.
And Corey, Mike Wong checking out of the football game right now. Jason Claremont in now at quarterback to run off some time. Direct snap, he runs to his left and will be forced out of bounds, at least near the sideline. Good job by Jason Claremont to stay in bounds and try to run out the clock.
Yeah, exactly. A very good alertness by Jason Claremont, knowing that if he goes out of bounds, the clock stops, and gives the Okanogan Sun a free timeout. By staying in bounds, he makes the runs the clock and makes the Okanogan Sun use a timeout if needed.
Todd Pinckney in the punt the football away. He's kicked 4 times for a 33.9-yard average. Here comes the rush. It's partially blocked, and the whistle goes down, and I think it's the pop fly rule on the kick. I'm not sure why they whistled it down right away, but the punt was blocked there by Jeremy White coming in from his special team spot. So the Rams forced 2 punt blocks, and now the Okanogan Sun get one themselves.
Give the Okanogan Sun credit, Mike. They took full advantage of the Rams trying to kill the clock, use their timeouts, and then came up on a big play on special teams and made a block. The reason the ball was blown down, Mike, is when it's around 10-yard punt. They blow it down just so that no one can get hurt on back blocks.
Eddie's marked it down 11 yards exactly. The pop fly rule, as you like to say. The Sun have a chance now to do something with the football. They have it just shy of the Ram 46, ball in the right hash. There seems to be some confusion. James Seeley's running off the field. They had one too many men. Time clock ticking down to 5 seconds. Orban, quick drop, throws down the right side for White, and he made the catch. Nice grab in front of Sheldon Gray. The rookie out of Miller at the 20 of the Regina Rams. The clock running, they have no timeout, so they have to hurry with 9 seconds left. The Rams scrambling back on defense. Good throw there, nice catch by Jeremy White. He finally hauled one in there down on a seam pass, a 25-yard grab. Orban barking out the signals. Looking left, he'll throw it up, looking into the end zone. The pass is dropped. Good coverage by Jason Malmachenko on Dan Strikaitis as he was looking over his head. That's the toughest catch to make, as Orban sailed it right over the head of Strikaitis. He had to look back over both of his shoulders to make the grab.
That was actually both of those throws, Mike. Those were both excellent throws by Chris Orban, showing good touch. And Jason Malmachenko on the coverage, man-to-man coverage there, had very good coverage on Mr. Strikaitis from the Okanogan Sun, and when the ball came in there, Jason knocked it out and made a great defensive play, forcing the Sun for a field goal attempt.
This will be a 27-yard attempt for Ryan Mock. He has booted one through from 42 yards. Orban takes a knee at the 27 on the right hash. Here's the snap. Orban puts it down. Mock puts it up. It's blocked, and it's back near the 40. It's scooped up by the Rams, or at least they try to scoop it up. Now they do. Bosevich down the left sidelines, and he is forced out of bounds and dragged down finally at the midfield stripe as the Rams blocked it. Corey Thackeray, I believe, got through again to block that one, his second block in this football game.
Yeah, great special teams work by the Rams, stopping the Sun from scoring any points before that happened, trying to gain any momentum. The fans are very appreciative of a great effort by the Regina Rams in this first half.
The Rams leave on the final play of the opening half up 22-3 and put an exclamation point on the end of that half with a blocked field goal by, I believe, Corey Thackeray. There was a host of Rams there. The ball was recovered by Bosevich. He runs it out of bounds at the midfield stripe, and the Rams take it to the locker room with a 22-3 halftime lead.
Welcome back to Taylor Field with Corey Borsa and Ed Bankowski. I'm Michael Ball. Second half underway. Todd Pinckney's kick comes down to Eric Duchesne. Now a reverse, and running to the right, up across the 40, the 45 to the 50, out to the 51-yard line is Adam Eckert, and they'll call him down at the 53-yard line. Little trickery there from the Okanogan Sun. They have to do something to get this football game back in their grasp, because right now they are trailing this football game 22-3 on the strength of a couple of touchdowns from the Regina Rams and a field goal by Todd Pinckney, and also a long single by Pinckney, a kick of 44 yards. But the Okanogan Sun doing everything they can, Corey Borsa, to get back in this football game.
Nice job by the Okanogan Sun, both by their coaching staff, who decides to call that reverse on the kickoff, as well as the players that execute it. They have to do something to change it up and give themselves some momentum, some uplift, so that they can start playing some tough football here.
We'll see if Chris Orban tries to improve on those 60 yards passing. Both slots, Strikaitis and White, are to the short side of the field. They pitch it to that side to Houston. He's got a convoy in front of him, puts his head down, and it's wrapped up near the 50 of the Regina Rams. Over there to make the stop was Bosovic first, and also scraping up to make the play was Corey McKee once again in on the tackle, along with Corey Thackeray, all three in on the stop there on Terrence Houston. They just put a convoy in front of Houston.
Yeah, like I said, Mike, they're not trying to hide anything. They're going to say, here, we're giving the ball to Terrence. We got some guys in front of him. You got to stop us now. And so far, the Rams have been effective in doing that. Misa Bosovic, as we've said all year, the rookie out of O'Neill, just playing tough, hard-nosed football, taking on the best running back in the country, and he's doing very well.
It is 2nd down and 3, Sun from the Ram, 51. Orban play action pass. He looks left, throws, the pass is caught, and that one in traffic by Kevin Snell. He comes back to the football and loses 3 yards. He's wrestled down near the Ram 45-yard line. Jason Melnichenko and Jeff Zimmer converge on the stop, and it is a 1st down for the Sun. He had a couple more yards, did Snell, but he had to work back to the football.
Yeah, that was a good job by Mr. Snell, though. Chris Orban delivering the strike, picking up a 1st down on their initial series of the 3rd quarter. This is what helps build momentum for another team, starting to put a drive together, giving some hope to their defense and giving some inspiration to their offense.
It is Eckert. Quick drop by Orban. Throws it up the left seam, and that one is incomplete as Dan Strakatis wants a flag, and he gets a late one, like about 5 seconds after the ball was incomplete. I'm not sure who it'll be on. Could be on Whitus, who came over from his free safety spot to make the play, but it was a late flag. It was a penalty, I think, though, Corey.
Yeah, he grabbed his hand as he was running by. He did try to sort of impede the receiver as he was going for the football. So, yeah, I think it was, although it was a late call, I think it might be the right one.
So the Okanogan Sun may be a benefactor here of a pass interference call. They're still talking it out. Rams only took 2 penalties in that first half for 20 yards. And really, let's not say this football game's over yet. The Okanogan Sun didn't win 12 football games out west by being a bad football team.
Well, you have the best running back in the country on your team, and if you can get him established and doing some things, you're only 3 scores out of the football game, 3 touchdowns or 2 touchdowns with 2-point conversions and a field goal. You have ample opportunity to win this game. There's lots of time left, but this initial 3rd quarter drive is being very effective.
Ball in the 32 of the Rams. It's on the left hash at the 32. 2 receivers to either side. Orban back to pass. The rush is on. He'll tuck it under. Started right, came back left, and right into the arms of Dallas Kronberg. He's dropped for a sack. The Rams' first of the football game. That, once again, was a covered sack.
Nice job, too, by Chad Zipchen, the defensive tackle of the Regina Rams, PFC All-Star, a unanimous All-Star. Coming off the injury of torn knee ligaments, out for 4 weeks. First game back, he comes in, he's going hard, and he forced Chris Orban to step up out of the pocket and tuck the ball under there for the 2-yard loss.
Adam Eckert, a wide out right to the wide side of the field. Left, it's Kevin Snell. The slot left is Strakatis. Rams show blitz, and they fake the handoff. No, they give it to Houston. A deep draw in the backfield, and a wrong call there by the offensive coordinator, Bill Long, because the Rams were coming with the blitz, and they drop them deep. Dallas Kronberg comes in with the play.
Nice job, first-year player Dallas Kronberg out of Tama Collegiate. Defeated the block of the guard of the Okanogan Sun. It came in and stepped and stopped Terrence Houston for a 5-yard loss.
Well, it's been an adventure for Sun punter Andy Leeson every time he's tried to kick in this football game. Twice he hasn't got it away, and the Rams bring on their punt return team. They had the defense on there for the longest time, and now Dennis Losey, the special teams and defensive line coach, sends on the return men. They are Ostapowicz and Hoover back near the goalpost. A high snap to Leeson. He pulls it down. Will he get it away? Yes, he will. A wobbler to the far side of the field. Bounces down to the 2 to Hoover. He tries to come up the right hash and won't get out to the 10-yard line. He stopped at about the 9. Making the tackle was a backup offensive lineman, Darren Sharp. And so the Regina Rams start deep in their own territory. Once again, a high snap to Leeson.
Nice job by Andy Leeson shagging that ball down and getting the punt off and pinning the Rams deep. So good initial drive by the Okanogan Sun. They don't come out with any points, but they do force the Rams deep into their own end zone, trying to work their way out.
Well, Corey, I think we should both be commended. We haven't called him either Daryl or Michael Leeson so far in this football game. That'd be a natural with those two guys donning the jerseys here in this stadium. But it is Andy Leeson, the punter for the Sun. 1st down and 10 Rams. Ball on their 9-yard line. It's on the right hash. Briltz in front of Olenek in an I formation, and the whistles and the flags come down. They handed it to Corey Olenek, but the play doesn't take place, and I think the Rams will be flagged here. Illegal procedure against the Regina Rams. 4th penalty of the ball game, 2nd of this half.
Yeah, that time I think Michael Wong, the quarterback of the Rams, was audibly into a different play, and Chris Briltz, the fullback for the Rams, had to do a lot of moving around, and they didn't get it off in time.
Well, if there are 2 quarters where the Rams have trouble getting going, it's the first and third quarters. They've only scored 6 points coming into this ballgame in the first quarter. They eclipsed that mark in this first quarter in this game, and only 9 points in the third quarter of their playoff game. So they tend to start slow in each of the halves, although they bucked the trend in the first half. They're starting slow here. Wong now on 1st and 15 from his 5. Hands it off to Olenek deep in the backfield, and he is dropped. Well, it looked like he was dropped and finally hammered to the turf. He fought up a couple of tacklers and finally wrestled to the turf by Ryan Sheeman from his weak linebacking spot.
Yeah, Bertie Schmidt, the offense coordinator for the Rams, is trying to get the Rams from outside of the shadow of their own goalposts, and some positive yards. Full marks go to the Okanogan Sun defense, defending well and forcing the Rams to a negligible gain.
Rams going right to left on your radio dial into the wind here in this third quarter with 10:55 remaining in the third quarter, and the Rams up by a score of 22-3. And a 2nd down and 15 situation. Everybody out in a pattern here for Mike Wong. 4-man front for the Sun. Wong on a quarterback draw, takes it across the 10 to 15, and will be close to a first down depending on where they spot it. He was hit by Ryan Folk. Also coming up to make the play was Mike Latondre, the All-Canadian linebacker. And it'll just depend on where they spot it. The second good quarterback draw by Mike Wong.
Nice job by Mike Wong, and the Rams caught a break on that play, Mike. Pardon me. The time count violation, it was the second time count violation by the Rams. They didn't have it off in time, but the refs didn't pick it up. Break for the Rams. Even though they didn't get the first down, they picked up about 15 yards, giving themselves a little better field position.
And Todd Pinckney will come on to punt this football away. Pinckney in this game, this will be his 6th punt. He has a 29.3-yard average. His last was partially blocked and only traveled 11 yards before it was blown dead because it didn't go the necessary yards on the punt. Back to receive for the Okanogan Sun. They have just 1 man back to receive. That's Eric Duchesne. He'll stand at about the Ram 46. So a punt block here for the Okanogan Sun, and why not? It worked the last time. Pinckney stands at his 1-yard line. And a flag comes down. Time count violation against the Regina Rams. So they missed the call the last time. They don't miss this one. And I'm not sure why they take that penalty unless they didn't have the right personnel on the field.
No, that's just a foolish penalty, Mike. Todd Pinckney and the center for the Regina Rams, John Heathcote, the snapper, they have to be aware of their surroundings to know how much time is left on that clock. 5 yards when you're that deep in your end zone is a foolish penalty to take.
5 penalties in this ball game, 3 already in this third quarter. It's not even 5 minutes old. Pinckney now will drop 2 yards deep in his end zone. The Sun jockeying at the line. Here they come, a high snap, and Pinckney's going to run around with it in the end zone and give up the safety touch. Wise call there by the Rams coaching staff as Pinckney runs through the back of the end zone. 22-5 now the score.
And the Regina Rams, the lead dwindling a little bit, Corey. We see that Okanogan Sun defense starting to stiffen a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good job by the Okanogan Sun. And they force the Rams to give up a couple points, and then they're going to get the ball in return. As a result of the safety touch surrendered by the Rams, they're going to have to kick off from their own 35. And again, the Okanogan Sun should get some good field position to work with.
Like I mentioned, good job by the Rams coaching staff. You don't want to punt deep in your own zone into the wind that we have here at Taylor Field. It often swirls here and can be an adventure for the kicking game. So a wise decision by Frank McChrystal. His team is playing well enough that he can afford to give up the 2 points.
Exactly, Mike. That's confidence in his defense by Frank McChrystal, telling the Okanogan Sun that you can have the football again because we don't think you're going to move it very far.
Unlike the first half, Corey, field position has been in the favor of the Okanogan Sun. They might have great field position here as Todd Pinckney kicking it off, as you mentioned, from his 35-yard line rather than the 45 into the wind, so they should get excellent field position.
Yeah, and the Okanogan Sun still have to establish some more strength on offense, moving that football and scoring some points because they do have the wind, as you said, in this third quarter.
Todd Pinckney's kick after the 2-point safety. The Rams gave up, comes down to Duchesne at his 30. He takes it out across the 50, still on his feet into Rams territory, up the left sideline. To the 40, 35, tries to cut it back inside, and is brought down way in Rams territory at the 26-yard line. Tackled on the play by Mike Serkan and Jason Malnichenko. A huge return there by Eric Duchesne. He took that one a total of 57 yards.
Yeah, nice job by Mike Duchesne, the returner for the Okanogan Sun. And as I spoke about, Mike, momentum is such a powerful tool in football. It's now on the Okanogan Sun side. They had a good, successful drive. They forced the Rams deep in their own end. They didn't give up any solid yards, and the Rams were forced to give up 2 points. And then they get a great return from Mike Duchesne. The Okanogan Sun have some momentum. Now they got to turn that into points.
Well, if they get a touchdown on this drive, they're back in business. Only down 22-5 right now. They give it to Houston. Straight shot up the middle, and lots of real estate there. He's inside the 15. The ball comes loose. Who's got it? I think the Sun recovered it. They do. As there was a free-for-all for the football. Houston was pulled down about the 10-yard line. There's an injured Regina Ram down on the play. I think it's Derek Whitus. He was the man who made the stop. Big yards right up the center of that Rams defense, and the ball was finally recovered by the Sun, fortunately for them. But a nice run there by Terrence Houston of about, 14 yards after the fumble.
Yeah, that was a very nice run by Terrence Houston. Good job by the Rams defense stripping the football. Unfortunately for the Rams, they didn't get to recover it, but this injury to Derek Whitus could be very costly, as Derek's a hard-working, tough, gritty football player, and they don't want to lose anyone like that.
We'll go down to Pete Pasco at that Ram bench.
Thanks very much, Michael. Just as the second half was getting underway, Rams defensive coordinator Erwin Klempner not too subtly reminded his troops that the team on the other sideline didn't make the trip from Kelowna to get blown out. They figure that if they can hold off the Sun the first couple drives of the second half, they should be pretty much in business, although this here is obviously a key defensive stand right now.
And we'll get Pete later on to check on the injury to Derek Whitus. He'll be replaced at free safety by Mike Surkan, 5'8", 170-pounder, third year out of Tom. He's a good football player. In fact, had an interception in the Canadian Bowl last year, did Mike Surkan.
Yep, that's right, Mike. Coming in again for substituting for an injury. And Derek Whitus has been down for a while. I thought initially I saw some blood from Derek checking for blood from his own hand. So I don't know, maybe he got a finger in the eye or in the nose or something like that. But hopefully it's not too serious, because as I said, you can ill afford to lose such a quality young man like Derek Whitus.
He might have got one of those big thighs from Terrence Houston right on the beak, and that would break your nose in a hurry. Boy, he's a big boy. 6'4", 234 pounds is Terrence Houston out of California. You should have seen Bob Obilovich's eyes light up at that CJFL Awards banquet. He brought out his notepad, leaned across to me and said, "Who is this kid?" I said, "He's your next tailback."
He'll play for cheap.
He's a heck of a football player, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he is. He's a great football player, and when he puts his mind to it, he runs very hard, and you can tell when he changes gears for the Okanogan Sun. He lifts them up.
The knock on him is he can be a lazy player. They give it to Terrence Houston right up the middle. He's snuffed out by Dallas Kronberg, who's played a gem of a game up front for the Regina Rams.
No kidding, Mike, exactly. First-year player stepping in and playing in a Canadian final in front of, the biggest crowd of the year, and he's stepping up and playing his best game of the year, and that's how champions respond.
It'll be Adam Eckert, a wide out right to the wide side of the field left. It's Kevin Snell, one catch in this second half. Dan Strikaitis, a slot left and right. It's Jeremy White. Split backfield for Orban. The backs leak out. Orban back to pass. Rolling right. Pumps. Throws to the corner of the end zone for White. He's knocked down on the play. No flag. Good coverage there by Corey McKee. The fourth-year player out of O'Neill has played well today, making a couple of tackles and coming up with a big play there. And good call, or good non-call by the officials.
Yeah, Corey McKee had great position on the receiver that time, and Chris Orban threw the ball up, and I think he was just throwing up hoping for a jump ball, but I don't think he threw it far enough even, and there was a good no call. There was some contact, but I think it was initiated by the offense.
Ryan Mock has a 42-yard field goal. His 27-yarder at the end of the opening half was blocked, and he'll come on here for what will be, I assume, will be a 19-yard field goal attempt if they do kick it, unless they go for a fake. But this has got to be demoralizing for the Sun. Even if they get the field goal, they need touchdowns. Can't chip away at the lead with just field goals and safeties. Orban puts down the snap, and the field goal is no good, I believe. It sailed through the back of the end zone. There was no signal, and it's a single point, a missed field goal, and a 19-yard attempt by Ryan Mock. It went wide right, and the Regina Rams dodge a huge bullet. We talk about demoralizing the 3 points. It's even worse when you only get 1 point.
Yeah, no kidding, Mike. That's a costly miss for the Okanogan Sun. That field goal would have put him in within two scores of the Regina Rams at 22-8. So missing that, it puts the the Okanogan Sun back into a bad position.
Well, the way the Rams are playing, they could probably beat the Sun and the Hilltops today at once. They're playing well, although not really in this third quarter so far. 4 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Wong looks right, throws down the field for Ostapowicz. What a catch! Inside the 50 to the 45-yard line, the rookie out of Lebolis. He just burned Eric Duchesne, the CJFL All-Star as far as the return man goes. He also doubles as a corner. He got burned by Ostapowicz, his second catch in the afternoon.
Yeah, that time, Mike, the Rams flooded the left side of their offense with all receivers and backs out to the left side. Created a one-on-one matchup with Shane Ostapowicz on the right-hand side, running the skeety post. Mike Wong delivers a strike to him, and Shane goes up and gets the ball. Great job by Shane Ostapowicz.
Ball on the right hash, the 45 of the Sun. The Rams up 22-6 with 7:50 to go in the third quarter of this Canadian Bowl. Wong fakes the handoff, rolls right, sets up, throws. The pass is caught by Olenek out of the backfield, and he is wrestled out of bounds, about 5 yards out of bounds. They'll mark it at just shy of the 35. He's tackled on the play there by Aaron Breivik, the Rover.
Yeah, now Bernie Schmidt is starting to use all his weapons. Play action, using Shane Ostapowicz as a wideout. He's not focusing on Corey Olenek running the ball or Jason Claremont catching it. He's using all the weapons now, and this is when the Rams are their most potent.
We'll go down to Pete at that Rams bench.
Good news, guys, on the injury front in terms of the injury to Derek Woitas. Described as a small burner, lost a little bit of sensation in his shoulder area. Apparently, he rolled over awkwardly onto his head. He should be back. He's just getting checked out in the locker room right now.
That is good news. Mike Wong will keep it on the handoff. It looked like he lost the football, and the Okanogan Sun have it back, I believe. No official signal yet. The Sun's offense is running out of the field. Mike Wong muffed the exchange with Curtis Morgan, and yes, I believe the Okanogan Sun have the football back. A costly turnover there for the Regina Rams, and their offense has been in neutral and in fact reverse in some instances here in this third quarter.
That's a very costly mistake by Michael Wong that time. When you only need a half a yard, stay in there, make sure you got the snap, and then lean forward and pick up the yardage for the first down. Trying to make too much out of something small, and that cost him that time.
Second Regina Ram turnover in the afternoon. We'll see if the Sun can capitalize. Ball on the left hash at their 35. The fans trying to cheer on the defense to another stand. Play action pass. He'll look, going for it all down the middle of the field. Zirkan back there and picks it off in front of Jeremy White, who Orban was going to, and the Rams answer the Sun turnover with one of their own. Picking off the pass by Chris Orban back at their 35-yard line. Good job by the third-year player out of Tom in for Derek Woitas. And you talk about that Ram depth, we see it there.
No kidding. I think Mike Zirkan just wants to play Canadian Bowls. Comes in, he steps in, he makes a pick last year, makes a pick this year, subbing for Derek Woitas. The Okanogan Sun had a good play call. The Rams were in their zone, they were hitting the seams, but Chris Orban threw it a little bit late, giving Mike Zirkan a chance to get over there.
Didn't really look off the safety there in that instance either. Wong will work under center. He pitches it off on the end around at Claremont. He's going to throw it. He's hit as he throws. Airs it up the right sideline for Warnicki running the flag, and the ball's 6 yards out of bounds. Good coverage by Eric Duchesne. I don't think Claremont got a good clean pitch there from Mike Wong. He kind of fumbled around with the football there.
Yeah, that time he sort of fumbled it with his hands as he was running forward and trying to stop and throw the football. Good job on him just getting it away, not turning the ball over, making a costly error for the Rams. Now it's going to go 2nd and 10. We'll start over.
Maybe one of the biggest attributes for the Rams offense on the field at any given time, they have 2 quarterbacks on the field.
Well, and 12 extremely quality athletes is probably their best, their real forte. All these guys are playing very hard today.
Wong with everybody out in the pattern. Drop back to pass. 5-step drop, throws underneath in the right flats for Olenek. Breaks a couple of tackles, and Mike Letendre pulls him down at the 42-yard line, short of a first down, and Todd Pinckney and the punt team have to come on again. As the team's kind of feeling each other out here in this third quarter, the Sun have had their opportunities. They were down deep in the Rams territory twice, have come away with only 3 points, courtesy of Rams safety and a single and a missed field goal. They've thrown an interception in this quarter as well. The Rams have to maybe pick it up here a bit because they haven't got this game in hand yet, even though they're up by 16 points.
Oh, by no means, Mike, is this game in hand for the Regina Rams yet. And you're right, they haven't come out sharp in the second half, but the Okanogan Sun have showed some life, but they haven't turned it into points, and that's the bottom line.
Terrence Houston back on the field, the punt return on the near right side on the right hash, and Pinckney hit as he kicks, no flag. The squibber comes down to Houston at the 35 in the middle of the field. A flag comes down, penalty against Eric Duchesne. Houston turning the corner on the right sideline, had a bit of a seam and then is ridden out of bounds by Corey Olenek. Also over there, Sheldon Gray, but a blocking penalty against the Okanogan Sun. and the Regina Rams will force the Sun back further. Terrence Houston, though, always a danger back there in a punt return situation.
Yeah, Mike, I think that we're going to get no yards against the Regina Rams here. I think Chris Brilch was within the 5-yard restraining zone. I did see a block from behind, too, as he was coming around the right-hand side, but it wasn't called, unfortunately, for the Rams. And the Okanogan Sun are down 16 with 5 minutes left, almost 6 minutes left in the third quarter, are going to have good field position and an opportunity to get themselves back into this football game.
Fortunately for the Sun, I made a mistake. You're right, no yards, and it's a intentional no yards penalty. They're really marching it off against the Rams. They'll move it up to the 52-yard line of the Okanogan Sun. Ball in the middle of the field. Kevin Snell, a wide out left, wide out right to the wide side of the field is Adam Eckert. Jeremy White, slot right, left, it's Dan Strakatis. He'll turn and give it to Houston. He's hit by Kronberg. First-year player up big.
Dallas Kronberg. What they're trying to do, the Okanogan Sun offensive line is trying to block down, thinking that Dallas Kronberg is not quick enough to get to Terrence Houston in time to make that play. And that's the third time he's done it now, the first-year player out of Tom. We keep talking about these first-year players for the Rams. They're just fantastic, and does that speak well for the Rams' future?
Let's quit talking about them as first-year players, because the way they've played, they're on equal footing with the veterans. The way they've played the last bulk of this season. Orban with 4 receivers right, 1 left. He'll roll to the right side, looking to throw. Look like across his body. Now he'll throw right. Good coverage by the Rams, but a nice catch at the Ram 46-yard line by Aaron David. I believe his first grab of the football game. And it'll be a first down. Good patience there by Chris Orban.
Nice job by the Okanogan Suns offensive coordinator. He's rolling Chris Orban out, buying him a lot of time there in coverage. You can't expect the defensive backs to cover receivers for 5, 6, 7 seconds, and that's exactly what the case was there. And Chris Orban spotted the man downfield and picked up the first down.
But it was good coverage by Sheldon Gray, who was right in David's hip pocket. Eckert, a wide out right, left to the wide side of the field is Kevin Snell. 4-man front for the Rams. It'll be Strakatis slot left, right, it is White. They pitch it to Houston off the left side, gets a good block from Strakatis, tries to turn the corner, and is wrapped up shy of the Ram 40-yard line. Tackle over there on the far side of the field by Jared Hoover, who came up from his corner spot along with Jeff Zimmer from his strong side linebacking spot.
What I find very impressive, Mike, is Jeff Zimmer, a linebacker, being able to go sideline to sideline with Terrence Houston, the best running back in Canada, at the junior level, and making plays on both sides of the ball. Jason's covering a lot of territory, or Jeff's covering a lot of territory out there and doing a great job in containing this back.
Well, we've seen his speed on numerous occasions. How about the PFC final going step for step with Rhett Lundgren? They option it out to Houston on the right side, cuts it back underneath the tackle, a couple of tackles, spins it across the 35 to about the 34-yard line. It'll be a first down. A good attempt there at a tackle by, I believe, Derek Whitus, who came up from his free safety spot, but Houston likes to capitalize on the over pursuit of the defense, and he did so there.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened that time. Derek Whitus, the free safety for the Rams, was up. The Rams were blitzing. Derek read the option, came up to make the play, and didn't make the play when he had a shot at Terrence Houston in the backfield, stopping him. Full credit going to Terrence Houston for that extra effort.
The Sun need a touchdown, and they need it now. With the wind at their back, they trail by 16 with 3:39 to go in the third. Orban going to the air again. The pass is picked off. It's coming back. Melnichenko's gone, I think. He's at the 50, 45, 40, the 30, the 25. Orban drags him down. Great job by Chris Orban to drag down Jason Melnichenko inside the 20. And he hauled him down at about the 17-yard line. Good pick there by the All-Canadian Melnichenko.
Is that a huge play, Michael? Okanogan Sun are marching the football. Jason Melnichenko, that time the Okanogan Sun were trips off to the left-hand side where Jason is. They ran 2 outs, hoping to draw Jason out there and bring a receiver in on a slant. Jason didn't bite on it, saw the throw coming in, and stepped in front of the receiver, took the ball away and gave a big return. A play like that could put the nail in the coffin for the Sun, and Jason's getting a round of applause.
Well, he actually did draw Jason out to the flats, but the pass sailed on Chris Orban right into the hands of Melnichenko. We'll see if the Rams can capitalize on the turnover. Wong back to pass, fakes the handoff, half roll right, throws to the end zone for Claremont, and the pass is incomplete. Also in the vicinity was Ryan Smith, and it went between the 2 receivers. It brings up second down and 10 now from the 17 of the Sun.
Yeah, that time the Rams did a little play action. They're faking the handoff and hoping to hit that pattern we've seen so many times this year, the crossing pattern by Jason Claremont and Ryan Smith. And that time Mike shot him up a little high.
Maybe a man to go to here is Chris Warnicki after catching 3 balls in the first half for 45 yards. He hasn't seen one his way at least that he could catch in this third quarter. The other two that went to him in this third quarter have been way over his head and way wide of the target. They fake the end around to Warnicki. Now they set up the screen of Warnicki on the left side. Makes the catch at the 25. Got blockers in front of him. Up the left side of the 10. To the 5. Puts his head down and drags a tackler to the 4-yard line as he pushed Daniil Whitehouse out of bounds. Good job and a nice call by Bernie Schmidt.
Great call by Bernie Schmidt. The new wrinkle he put in for this football game. A slot back screen. Mike Wong faked the rollout to the right-hand side. Brought the defensive lineman and the linebackers with him. Threw back to the left-hand side in the slot back screen to Chris Warnicki. And you called it, Mike, hitting Chris, the fine all-star out of Riffle High School. Picked up the first down, and the Rams are going to be first and goal in the 4.
Knocking on the door again with 2:38 to go in the third quarter, and maybe put the nail in the coffin of the Sun. They're up 22-6 are the Rams. Ball on the 4-yard line on the left hash. In motion, it's Brill to the left side. They pitch it to Olenek that way. He's got a seam. He's got a touchdown. Untouched for the second time in this ball game, and the Regina Rams have made it 28-6, led by their defense on a huge play by the All-Canadian Jason Melnichenko.
Full credit on this touchdown goes to Ryan, Ryan Smith, the wide receiver of the Regina Rams. He made a great block, allowing Jason to walk in the end zone on the corner.
Pete, what's the emotion like down on the Rams bench?
Guys, that must have been a huge turn of events because I just saw Bernie Schmidt smile. And one other thing, a nice moment down here, longtime Rams fan, possibly the 13th man for this ball club, Jared Livingstone made a beeline for Jason Melnichenko after that interception. Big high five, smiles all around.
Got the wheelchair in high gear to Jared Livingstone. The extra point, the 4th by Todd Pinckney is right through the uprights. The Regina Rams lead at 29-6, 2:25 to go in the third.
Well, if the Rams lead was dwindling, Corey, somewhat, they've reasserted that lead with that touchdown by Corey Olenek, and he has really established himself in this football game.
Yeah, Corey's second touchdown of the day, but you got to give a lot of credit to that Rams defense, Mike. They do a great job in turning the ball over again and giving the Rams just superb field position to work with, short field, and the Rams offense takes advantage of it.
The green and white have dominated this game in every facet. You talk about special teams being 1/3 of the football game. Boy, the Okanogan Sun would love to get a huge return here.
Well, they need a huge return, Mike. And if they don't get the huge return, they need some good offense, and they need it in a hurry. They're down 23 points to the Regina Rams, who have a fantastic defense. They do a great job of taking care of the ball when they get it.
Here's the kick by Todd Pinckney. High kick that's going to sail down.
Eric Duchesne takes the kickoff back to his 47-yard line, and he is down. Actually, Doug Bankert is the injured player. Eric Duchesne, a nifty little runner. And actually, yeah, Eric Duchesne is down on one knee. So a double bang for the buck for the Regina Rams on that special team play, as Duchesne is a guy, you don't want to see anyone get hurt, but maybe keep him out of the football game because he's a fire plug out there.
Yeah, he's a great return specialist and the all-star in Canada in that specialty, and he has given the Okanogan Sun great field position all day today.
We've talked about the players and all the new players the Rams have used, and I mentioned to Frank McChrystal in the pregame show, you got to give some credit to that coaching staff. 130 years of coaching experience combined. We talk about Bernie Schmidt. You talked about that slot back screen that he put in for this week. He always comes up with a few good plays in the playoffs.
Bernie's just a fantastic offense coordinator. Bernie played with the Rams in the early 70s, and at that time he was one of the outstanding players, and now as a coach he just does a great job. He analyzes tape, he works hard, he's the father of 4, so that's a lot of time there. And
two sets of twins.
2 sets of twin girls. And he puts in all this extra time, and when it comes to playoff time, Bernie turns his level up a notch. All of these coaches are just fantastic. They put an tireless amount of hours, and they do it just because they love the game. They're not getting paid any absorbent amount of money. It's not their profession. They're doing it because they love the game, and these players are the ones who reap the benefits.
Kevin Snell, a wide out left to the short side of the field right. It's Adam Eckert. Don Strakatis, slot left, right. It's Jeremy White. And they hand it to the up man, and that is James Seeley, and the fullback with a rare carry gets about 2 yards on the play. Talking about fatherhood, we haven't had a chance to congratulate you, your second child,
Thank
Kyle
you
Brady. I bet a week and a half ago he was born.
Yeah, 10 days old, Kyle James Borsa.
And Pete Pasco working our sidelines. His wife is due in March.
Well, get some
Me,
sleep.
I don't have any time.
Get your sleep now, Pete, because you won't get any then.
Willie Cole works me too hard. I don't have any time for any extracurricular activity. Ball on the 49. I'm divorced now. My wife's listening to the game. Ball on the left hash of the 49. 4 receivers right. Orban throwing down the seam again for David. Picked off! Intercepted again.
This time by Sheldon Gray with a big interception. He stepped in front of the receiver as Chris Orban tried to go up top once again. He hasn't thrown deep all afternoon, but the last couple of times he's tried to go downtown, the Rams have been there. Mike Surkan once, and coming up again with the interception, it was Sheldon Gray this time, the rookie out of Miller.
Chris just more or less threw it up there and hoping that his player could make the play. And Sheldon Gray, the first-year player out of Miller now, makes a great play giving the Rams the ball.
5 receivers right. The only receiver left is Ryan Smith. Wong will work the shotgun, looks right, throws out, slot back, hitch to Claremont, completed the 40, got a blocker in front of him, Ostapowicz, and he drags tacklers across midfield to the Okanogan 53-yard line before he's finally wrapped up on the play by Eric Duchesne.
Yeah, great job by Jason Claremont. And the blocking receivers for the Regina Rams are the best receivers I've ever seen at blocking for their fellow players. They're always downfield making that extra block, especially Ryan Smith and Michael Thomas, who's at his grandmother's funeral and couldn't be here today. These guys are just fantastic blockers and work, very, very hard at that skill.
Claremont, 13 yards on that catch, 6 catches for 101 yards and 1 touchdown. Wong gives it off to Olenek, deep draw. He's got a huge hole off the right side of the 40 and backs his way across the 40 to the 39-yard line. He was tripped up on the play there. Making the tackle was Chris Zimmerman, but a nice run there once again by Corey Olenek.
Great job by the offensive line of the Regina Rams. A little lead away out to the right-hand side of the Rams offensive line. It opened wide up for the Regina Rams tailback Corey Olenek, and he took full advantage, picking up 14.
14 yards, you're absolutely right. 15 carries for 77 yards and a pair of TDs for Olenek. The veteran out of Johnson from the shotgun. It's Wong. Quarterback draw. Lots of real estate. Running to his left at the 35. He's at the 30, chugging to the sidelines and runs for a first down. He was smart enough to step out of touch for a first at about the 28 in front of Ryan Folk.
Yeah, good call by Bernie Schmidt. What Bernie's seen is the linebackers of the Okanogan Sun dropping off, trying to get into those pass lanes, and he's taking advantage of those yards given up by those linebackers and allowing Mike to run and pick up good solid yards on first down for the Rams.
Well, you couldn't ask any better of a day from a quarterback in his first year starting. 16 of 20, 237 yards. He has thrown for 1 touchdown, and so far in this football game, he's rushed for 39 yards on 4 carries. Those are maybe MVP numbers. Wong, back to pass again, play action pass, slips, looks left, throws nobody home, and actually it went over the defender, Ryan Folk. Ryan Smith wasn't anticipating the football. It bounced right off the old 7-1 to the turf. Ryan Folk has had trouble judging the football today.
Yeah, poor Ryan Folk. He's out there, he's where he's supposed to be and making a good effort. Great throw by Mike Wong. They're getting it over his hands and putting it right in the numbers of Ryan Smith. Ryan won't miss too many of those passes.
This should be the final play of the third quarter. 5 seconds and counting to go in this third quarter of the Canadian Bowl. Rams up 29-6. They have it at the Okanogan 28, ball on the left hash. After their 15th national championship, it looks pretty good right now. Wong back to pass again, started left, now sets up the screen to the right to Claremont. Slot back screen. He's at the 30, gets a block to the 25, fights off 2 tacklers, and has a first down to the 18-yard line, and then spikes the ball to say, there you go, son. He was tackled on the play by Kyler Jukes on the final play of the third quarter. The Rams looking for more. They're up 29-6.
That man has a touchdown. Jeff Zimmer has one, and Corey Olenek a pair. The Rams lead at 29-6 and have it on cruise control as we headed to the fourth quarter.
First down and 10 Rams, ball in the 18. Wong from the shotgun, look left, pumps it down into the end zone, going for Claremont. He made the catch, touchdown! Oh my goodness, I thought his first one was a beauty. This is better in double coverage.
Is he an athlete or what, Mike? Going up, he had double coverage. Mike Wong makes a good throw, but the defenders haven't much right to that football. They were right there to make the play. Claremont was up and over them and pulls it down right in the back of the end zone. Well, fabulous football play.
Well, I hope the Riders Director of Player Personnel, Bob Obilovich, is at this football game, because there's a guy in waiting for the Saskatchewan Roughriders right in their backyard. What a catch.
Oh, what an effort. The guy goes on full bore no matter what he's doing, whether he's running the ball, blocking, or catching passes. This guy goes very hard when he gets the chance to make a play.
So Todd Pinckney will come on to add the extra point, his 5th of the football game. Shane Ostapowicz, who has made a couple of sensational catches to hold. He takes a knee at the 12, puts down the snap. Pinckney has no problem. And the Regina Rams lead 36-6, 18 seconds in to this 4th quarter.
Well, Corey, we thought Jason Claremont's first touchdown in the first half was miraculous. This one somehow was even better.
He just goes up and gets the ball, Mike, and when he wants it, he gets it. There's just not a lot of people who can stop him when he's trying to catch the football.
If you're Mike Wong, you've got the easiest job in Canada.
Mike Wong has a great receiving core. Out of the backfield, he's got Chris Brils and Corey Linick, who catch the ball superbly. Mike Thomas, Shane Ostapowicz, and Ryan Smith as wideouts. And then the two studs in the middle, Chris Warnicki and Jason Claremont. They do a great job.
Todd Pinckney teeing it up at the 45-yard line. They have the wind at their back. They have a 30-point lead and look like odds-on favorites to repeat as national champions and go-out champions in junior football as the ball blows off the tee. It's been a total team effort. The defense has sparked the offense, which has in turn sparked the special teams. It's just been an all-around effort by the green and white. Here's a kick by Todd Pinckney, a beauty. He'll kick it down off the crossbar, and it's blowing dead. He kicked an 85-yard field goal right off the tee. What a beauty.
Todd Pinckney. This is another young man who could have pro potential. He's got the leg for it. You know, he had some consistency questions with field goals, but both punting and place kicking, Todd Pinckney has a professional's leg.
Well, if they can hire Hank Olisic, the old 44-year-old, to come on and kick for the BC Lions at $2,000 a game, I'm sure he'd be happy with that. They'll mark the ball at the 20-yard line, will they, after the dead ball? He kicked it right off the crossbar at Pinckney. And now Adam Eckert breaks huddle, a wide out right, left. It is Kevin Snell. Dan Stricade, slot left, right. It's Jeremy White. Backs in the eye. In behind, Zach Silverman, who's in at quarterback now. They hand it off to Houston off the right side. Breaks the tackle. He'll turn the corner and step out of bounds near his bench. Actually, he was coaxed out of bounds there by Sheldon Gray. But it is a first down, and Terrence Houston now in the football game has a total of 13 carries for 93 yards. Good numbers for him, but he hasn't found the end zone, and that's a key in this football game with 14:23 left to go in this final quarter.
That's the big number he doesn't have, Mike, is 6 points after his name for a touchdown. And the failure of the Okanogan Sun to capitalize on their opportunities in the third quarter have cost him this football game, I think.
Zach Silverman will work under center. Everybody out in a pattern. Look left, now comes back right, throwing down the seam once again for Jeremy White. Good coverage. Derek Whitus and Sheldon Gray over there. Whitus has played well. He's back in the football game. As Pete said, he had just a burner. And speaking of Pete Pasco, he's on that Rams sideline again.
Michael, every once in a while a team gets in one of those zones. The Regina Rams are definitely in one of those right now. They feel no matter what the sun throws at them on offense or defense, nothing's going to stop them. A lot of smiles after that miraculous catch by Jason Claremont. Also, a lot of congratulations to Chris Warnicki for selling the pump fake from Mike Long. Warnicki threw 3 defenders over to him, and then Claremont just made that catch. One of the fans here turned to me and said, "Is that any good?" Yeah, that's pretty good.
And Silverman going down the pipe again, and that one is dropped. He tried to go once again to Jeremy White, but good coverage once again by the Regina Rams. Over there was Corey Thackeray and also Sheldon Gray, so the Regina Rams force another punting situation from the Okanogan Sun. I talked to Blake Roberts, the media director of the Okanogan Sun, before the football game, and I said, boy, the Rams have all the pressure on them. He said, this is a more pressure-packed game for us. Our advertising on the radio sold out in 25 minutes, he said, so the fans are listening intently back home, and they'll be honest if we don't win, because they'll say we could never beat the Regina Rams, and it doesn't look like they're going to here. 0 for 3.
Yeah, currently, Mike, they haven't beaten the Regina Rams, and it certainly doesn't look like they're going to start today. But give full credit to these Rams. They're amazing, amazing athletes. These guys in the third quarter were behind the 8 ball. You know, the momentum was on their side. And the Rams fought back. Mike Serkan's pick, I think, is really the turning point where, they close it. You can see the effort of the Okanogan Sun has diminished. Maybe their heart's not as completely in it as it should be.
Well, Cal Nesdoli, head coach of the Okanogan Sun, called the timeout to just tell his guys we got to play with some pride and maybe force these Rams not to block another punt, because the Rams, you can bet, maybe might come after another one here, although they're up by 30, so Frank might not want to rub salt in the wounds here of the Okanogan Sun. But who knows, it is the Rams' last junior game. Leeson's punt an end-over-end one, but he gets some good height on it. It comes down to Ostapowicz. He muffed it, picks it up at his 38 and goes nowhere. Dropped by a horde of white and yellow, or pardon me, orange jerseys. Yellow, what am I seeing? I'm thinking Hilltops. You said it earlier. I'm thinking Hilltops. The tackle on the play by Warren Depker, and now the Rams offense. Will we start to see maybe some subs here in this fourth quarter? Give everybody a chance to get involved in this Canadian Bowl Championship?
I would expect to see him probably after this drive, Mike. After this drive, it'll probably get the time clock down to 8-9 minutes left in the game, and the coaching staff would like to have everyone participate in this football game.
Here's a hidden ball trick again to Chris Brilt. He pitches it back to Wong, a flea flicker, and Wong won't get it away. He's rushed by Rain, breaks free of the tackle, now pumping, rolling left, a huge block by Curtis Morgan, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Corey Olenek. Wow, what a hit on Kyler Jukes. Gary Block and Curtis Morgan came back to save the quarterback. That play was a no-go right from the start.
Yeah, it was a hidden ball that was supposed to go back on a flea flicker to Mike Wong. Eventually it got there to Mike. Mike rolls out, evades the tackler on the sack, and then cuts back, and Trent Poitras, Gary Block, and one other lineman absolutely murdered the defensive lineman of the Okanogan Sun. It went for an incompletion, but that's one heck of an eventful incompletion.
Yeah, an exciting incompletion at that. 12:40 and counting to go in the fourth. 36-6, the Rams leading this football game. Wong back to pass again from the shotgun, looks left, throws. The pass is dropped by Ryan Smith. The second one he's dropped in the second half. He slipped on the play. The Rams' afternoon has been going so well that even when they make a mistake, it's exciting. We'll go down to Pete Pasco again.
Michael, you're absolutely right. You want to know how well things are going for the Regina Rams right now? I just had a little chat with Corey Olnick. I said, Corey, great job today. You're certainly winning the battle against Terrence Houston. He looked at me and he said, Houston, the only Houston I've heard of makes pizza.
Oh, no. Little fuel to the fire there. Well, I guess you can cut down the other team when you're up by 30 points.
Yeah, Corey scored a touchdown or two, and Terrence hasn't, so he has the right to brag right now.
Here's the punt by Todd Pinckney. He'll stand back at his 23-yard line to get it away, and back to receive the lone man, Eric Duchesne. The Sun coming after this one. Pinckney gets it away, and it's a beauty. With the wind, sends Duchesne way back to his 10-yard line. He'll scoop it up and try to run to his left. Now Stutter steps back to the right, and Brian Smuck wrestles him down at the 16-yard line. What a towering kick by Todd Pinckney. 63 big ones.
Yeah, Todd Pinckney, as I said before, Mike, he has a professional strength leg. This guy can kick and both place kick and punt, and he showed it right there. Great downfield coverage, too, on a 63-yard punt. It's not easy to cover it. That's a long way to run. Good job by Brian Schmuck of the Regina Rams.
Anything moving that fast should have a stewardess on it. That was a beauty. John Glenn could have hitched a ride on that one. So the Sun, can they salvage some pride? They're down by 30 points with 11:54 and counting to go here in this fourth quarter, down 36-6. And they pitch it to Houston off the right side. End around, though. They'll try it with Adam Eckert. Running to the near left side. He's got some blockers in front of him. He's out to the 30, to the 35, to the 40. Tries to cut it back into the middle of the field. And Derek Ford in the secondary now. Combines with the other Derek Whitus to make the tackle. But a nifty run there. They're going to mark the ball out at about the 43-yard line. A 27-yard gain there by Adam Eckert on the end around.
Yeah, they ran that pitch so many times, and then this time they throw a wrinkle into it and throw a reverse back the other way. And as we said, Mike, as I thought some of the backup players for the Regina Rams were getting in, Derek Ford, Todd Schick, defensive backs for the Regina Rams are now into the football game.
Some substitutions as Coach Frank McChrystal gives every green and white player a chance to savor this one, and it's a much-deserved victory, a much-deserved season. When they had the rash of injuries, they didn't quit. They've gone 9-1 so far, looking to make it 10-1 in the year. Regular season and playoffs combined. The throw by Silverman is caught. Nice grab by Aaron David, and then he's wrestled down by Todd Schick at about the 53 of the Regina Rams. Nice leaping grab, though, by David.
Yeah, very nice catch by Mr. David there. He had Derek Ford, the corner of the Regina Rams, a little bit on his back. Could have been interference, but it didn't matter. He concentrated on the football and made the catch.
Todd Schick, one of the halfbacks, along with Jason Melnichenko. He has a big interception that set up a Rams touchdown. The corner's now Derek Ford, as he mentioned, and the veteran Jared Hoover stays in there. And the free safety is Mike Serkan. Silverman will work under center. He's got 3 receivers to the right side as Strikaitis goes in motion that way. They pitch it to Houston to the right. He's going to throw. Terrence Houston can do everything else. Why not throw it? This one is nearly intercepted, batted down by Mike Surkan. Good coverage also over there by Derek Ford. A pass intended on the far side of the field for Adam Eckert, and he wanted a pass interference penalty. So did Cal Nesdoli. Nothing doing there.
No, not at all. And they both, you're right, Mike, their whole coaching staff of the Okanogan Sun are all over the referees now on that far side of the field. And if you're going to run a play like that, Terrence Houston has got to sell the pitch a little bit more. No one bit up because he was only jogging over to the side. He's got to run hard and bring the linebackers and the defensive backs up and then try and throw over top.
Ball on the 53 of the Regina Rams. 2nd down and 10 now for the Okanogan Sun. Trailing by 30. Dan Strikaitis, a slot left, right. It's Jeremy White. Wide out right. Aaron David. Shotgun snap to Silverman. Good protection. He'll air it out. Nice spiral. Intended it for Strikaitis, but coverage on the play by Melnichenko and Hoover. There was some contact before the ball got there, but no red hanky.
Yeah, I don't think the ball was catchable. Very awkward patterns by the Okanogan Sun. They ran an in and an out. The wide receiver doing the in and the slot doing the out, but they were only about 2 yards apart from each other. They got to get some more separation so the defenders are apart.
We'll go down to that trooper, Pete Pasco, who's all bundled up on the sideline.
Thanks very much, Mike. Look for a change at quarterback for the Regina Rams on their next offensive series. Cam Strasser, the rookie out of Tom Collegiate here in Regina, is starting to warm up. Looks as though Mike Wong's work is done for the afternoon.
Andy Leeson will stand inside his 43. He's had a busy afternoon. This, my friends, is his 9th punt. He's tried 11 punts. 2 didn't work. This is a wobbly kick again, comes down, and that one is corralled by Oglesby, I believe. Jason Oglesby.
Chris Ashman, I believe.
Ashman, okay, apologize. Chris Ashman, who is a brilliant punt returner, didn't get in much because of a knee injury, and his grandma also died, so he missed a couple of games because of that. Nice return there, at least nice job of fielding the football, a wobbler by Leeson.
Oh, Chris is a great running back for the Regina Rams. Unfortunately for him, there's a whole ton, the Corey Lennox and Neil Hughes, and then Chris had some injury problems which set him back a bit, but he's a fantastic running back for the Regina Rams, and he's an exciting punt returner.
Well, the Rams with some substitutions on offense now. Mike Wong is at quarterback still from the shotgun. He's going to take it himself, tucks it under, and runs right into the waiting arms of number 34, Mike Letendre, the All-Canadian linebacker. He has played well. One of the few bright spots for the Okanogan Sun.
Yeah, Mike Letendre is a heck of a linebacker for the Okanogan Sun. He just hasn't had much support with the defense of the Okanogan Sun. Nose guard Rob Stewart has played a good game today too, I think, but the defensive backs have let the Okanogan Sun down, and the receivers of the Regina Rams have taken it away from the defense of the Okanogan Sun.
Troy Flash Gordon, a wide out right to the wide side of the field. Left, it's Ryan Smith. Slot left, Jason Claremont. Wong, back to pass. Here comes the blitz. He gets it away down the right sideline for Gordon. Incomplete. Just out of his reach. Covered on the play by Eric Duchesne, and the Regina Rams will have to punt the football away with 8:56 left to go in this 4th quarter.
That was a nice throw by Mike Wong, just running Troy Gordon running the straight streak down the right-hand side of the along the Rams sideline here. Mike Wong put it right on the outside shoulder, right where he should. And unfortunately for Troy Gordon, he just couldn't pull it in.
Case there, or maybe you should just keep your hands in tight and keep running and put your hands out at the last second. He kind of ran 3 yards there, did Gordon, with his hands outstretched. It kind of slows you down. Here's Todd Pinckney. I know that. I got lectures from Bernie Schmidt about that about 3 years in a row.
Yeah, but you're so fast it didn't matter.
Yeah, thanks. It amounted to much, didn't it? Now I eat nachos and cut people down. Todd Pinckney stands at his 10 to get this one away. A good rush and a good kick. A flag comes down. I think he was hit as he got the football away. It squibs out of bounds at the Okanogan 46-yard line. They had a huge rush on Todd Pinckney, and I think he got hit by Doug Hartle, the halfback. And the penalty against the Sun gives the Rams the football back, and the offensive juggernaut trots back onto the field for one more kick at the can here with 8:31 to go in the 4th quarter. Not a smart penalty there from the white and orange.
You know, when you're down and you do something stupid, you just beat yourself up and keep yourself down. So a little bit of hesitation by the Rams offense there. Now they're walking off.
Well, I'm not sure exactly if they're going to maybe call it unnecessary roughness, or they're just going to call it contacting the kicker. If it's contacting, it's only a 5-yard penalty, I believe. If it's intentional, it is a 1st down for the Regina Rams. And it's going to be an Okanogan football because it was only contacting the kicker, which only gives the Rams 5 yards. They needed 12, so the Sun will have the ball on their 46-yard line.
I find that hard to believe. That was unintentional by the Okanogan Sun. He hammered Todd Pinkney after he punted the football. There was nothing unintentional about it, but the referees in their eyes saw it different. So the Sun will have the football on their own 46.
Disappointing afternoon for Chris Orban, the quarterback of the Okanogan Sun. He was pulled in this second half after throwing 3 straight interceptions. He threw 3 picks. He was 7 of 17 for 79 yards. I'm sure he wanted a better fate coming into his own backyard once again. Here's Silverman, the backup at quarterback. Everybody out now in a pattern. Actually, Jeremy White stays in a block. They throw over the middle to Terrence Houston, Mr. Everything. He's wrestled down from behind by Kevin Barron, but not before he gets near a first down at the Ram 54-yard line. It should be a first down.
Yeah, and as you said before, Mike, Chris Orban, we both had the opportunity to play with Chris. He's just a super nice guy. He's out of Riffle. His father coached me for 5 years with the Regina Rams, Jerry Orban. And Chris is a nice guy. He just went out. He wanted a chance to play football as a starting quarterback, so he went out to Kelowna and lived with his grandparents. And unfortunately for Chris, it didn't work out for him today, but he's a good football player, and just some bad luck today.
I think every positional coach in the Rams coached you, Corey, before he became O-line. Silverman, play action pass, looks left, throws, and this one is incomplete, and Derek Ford makes sure it's incomplete. He hammers Dan Strakatis, as Strakatis make a weak attempt at the football, and Ford made him pay for it.
And Derek Ford let up a bit. He could have really uncorked on Mr. Strakatis. It's third down. I would hope the Okanogan Sun are going to go here. They only need about a half a yard.
That wasn't a bad call from Bill Long, the offensive coordinator of the Okanogan Sun. He's an interesting character. He's been around since the inception of the team in 1981. He was their first MVP as a kicker and wide receiver. He's been around the longest. He knows the team better than anyone. Must be a tough pill for him to swallow, losing again to the Rams, as Silverman keeps and does have the first down behind his center, the All-Canadian Devin Roger. It's got to be a bitter pill to swallow for Roger as well. One of the shots on the highlight video last year was him crying on the sidelines when the Rams beat the Sun 23-20. You got to think it's tough for Cal Misdoli to swallow as well. He lost in 1987 here to the Regina Rams as a player and twice as a coach. This will be the third time as a coach against the Regina Rams.
Yeah, it is, and especially when it's one team doing it to you. You get to the national final, you think you have a good shot, and this one team keeps standing in the way, but Rams just have a strong program. There's nothing you can do about it.
They pitch it to Terrence Houston. He's got a convoy in front of him of blockers, and he's pulled down at the 41 of the Regina Rams. It'll be a first down, though. Tackled on the play by Sheldon Gray. Corey McKee also over there. 6:44 left to go here in the fourth. 36-6 the Regina Rams lead. You look at their impressive totals throughout the year. They've started playing 1954. 14 of 16 national championships, a .733 winning percentage. They haven't had a losing season since 1964 when they went 3-5.
That's amazing. You've won every year. You've won more games than you lost every year for 35 years. That's incredible.
Silverman back to pass, sets up the screen to the right to Jeremy White. A play out of the Rams page, out of their playbook, and he fights up for a first down or close to it, a 9-yard gain before he's tackled on the play there by Bosevich. And there's a guy that really came into his own this year. First-year player out of O'Neill, expected to be a special teams player, and Michel Bosevich came up when Royal Harden got hurt and stepped up and really played well. And in fact, Erwin Klempner said if Harden wouldn't have got hurt, Bosevich probably still would have got the bulk of the playing time. That's how well he performed this year.
Misha was the outstanding defensive player in the Regina High School football last year, and I coached him as well at O'Neill, and he's just a great guy. He works hard, he loves the game of football, and he wants to play and be in on every play.
Well, on that play, Terrence Houston tried to scrape his way for the first down, and he didn't get it. Brian Smuck was in there, and Dallas Kronberg, he must have about 7 tackles today.
Yeah, he's been very impressive. Even though Chad Zipchen is a little hauled up, he's still a great football player, but Dallas Kronberg has taken the limelight between the two tackles, but Dallas has been in more plays, and he's a pretty quiet guy, but he can get excited, big Dallas out of Tom.
We'll talk about Chad Zipchen in a moment, coming off a knee injury. He's in there right now once again. Here is Silverman under center. He'll try to go behind his center. Devin Rogers didn't have it on his first surge, but pushes the pile well past the first down marker. He does have a first down to the Ram 27-yard line. Chad Zipchen hurts his knee against the Saskatoon Hilltops. 4 or 5 weeks on the shelf. the fifth-year All-Star, PFC All-Star defensive tackle, 5'11", 270. I talked to him yesterday. I said, "Are you ready to play?" He says, "Of course I am. I'm a tough Ukrainian."
Well, Chad is a tough young man. He tore his knee ligaments in 4 weeks ago, and to think that you could come back and play in a football game 4 weeks after tearing knee ligaments. He didn't start jogging until Monday of this week, light jogging.
Rams blitz. Silverman throws it up the left side for Snell. It's batted away by Derek Ford, who has come in and played well, as Silverman picks himself off the turf. Another solid Ram rush, and I promised Chad Zipkin that I'd give his business a plug. He's part owner of Duke's Bar and Grill on 5th and Cameron. So
Yeah.
we'll give him a plug and hopefully get a free breakfast out of him.
Don't bet on it. The
No,
guy
I
never
would
gives
bet
you
it. Actually, he
anything.
gave me one earlier. I think he still owes Willie Cole one, though. 2.
That could be costly.
That could be costly. 2 free breakfasts, now 3. We'll put him out of business. Silverman will work under center, split backfield, 2 receivers to either side here on 2nd and 10 from the Ram 28. Quick 3-step drop. Now he rolls to his right, chased by Kronberg. Will he get it away? Yes, he does. Pass is complete for Aaron David. Cuts it back into the middle of the field, and he has a big gain. Brian Smuck hammers him down at the 10-yard line, but it is a first down of 18 yards. Aaron David, a shifty little receiver, has his 3rd catch in the ball game for a total of 43 yards. Nice play there.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with Zach Silverman. He's looked very good coming in, backing up Chris Orban. He's ran the ball all right and been very accurate with his throws.
4 of 9 for 50 yards is Silverman. And we're having a conference here. I think there could be a penalty against the Okanogan Sun, and they're marching it back, and I believe it came after the first down, if I'm not mistaken, so it'll be a first down for the Sun. Instead of having it at the 10, though, they're marked back at the 24-yard line, so it's a first down there. So they only, in essence, gained 4 yards, but they did get a first down.
Yeah, it was a block from behind on the Okanogan Sun after the first down, and I think that's a bit of a frustration penalty. They're upset with obviously with the score and the way things are right now, and so unfortunately for the Okanogan Sun, they're really on their last efforts here.
And we see their fans on the far side of the field start to walk around to the near side. They know this one is over. Silverman pressured again by Barron. Hit as he throws, and the ball falls aimlessly to the turf. Kevin Barron with a hammering shot on the backside of Zach Silverman, and it brings up 2nd down now for the Okanogan Sun. And Barron, he has really played well. Started at the defensive tackle spot, but because of the injuries to Lee Churkus and Brett Wagner in the PFC final, had to come in midway through that game at a defensive end spot, and he's played that position throughout this game and played well.
Yeah, as you said, Mike, and he's only in his 2nd year, Kevin Barron. He did not get any playing time at all last year. Comes in, worked very hard in the offseason in the weight room and on the track, and has earned his starting position, has played well all year.
And they snap it on a shotgun to Terrence Houston, who's in at quarterback, and forget about it. Mike Surkan, a little showtime after the tackle, and they turn it over on down to the Okanogan Sun, I believe. And the Regina Rams will get the football back, and we'll try to run out the clock here with 3:13 left to go, although we do have some miscommunication here now, a little bit of a delay with the defense coming on, or no, it is a 3rd down situation for the Sun, I should say. Zach Silverman is staying on the field. I thought that was 3rd down, but this is 3rd down right now. I'm too busy filling out my player of the game ballots. I picked Jason Claremont as the MVP on offense and defense. Dallas Kronberg will get it in my estimation. He has played well.
I couldn't agree with you more, Mike, on both of those. Dallas Kronberg is really, between him and Jeff Zimmer, have made the majority of the plays in this football game, and both deservedly award winners. And Jason Claremont and Michael Wong, 2 just, fantastic. Corey Olenek could very well be a player of the game as well, the way he's ran the football today. Very inspirational football played by the Regina Rams today, folks. They, were down on their luck a bit in the 3rd quarter. They responded as they have all year, coming back and giving a little extra effort.
The Okanogan Sun are down to their last life. 3rd down and 10 at the Ram 24-yard line. They're down 36-6. They haven't found the end zone yet in this football game. Silverman trying. He rolls out to his right, looking downfield, throws to the sideline. The pass is caught by Adam Eckert for a first down at about the 13-yard line there. It'll be a gain of 11 yards. Nice catch there by Adam Eckert, and a late flag comes down now. Some talking after the whistle. We'll go down to a man who loves to talk. Pete Pasco at that Rams bench.
Thank you, Michael. Just like when the storm clouds roll in over Taylor Field, the same sort of thing has rolled in over the Rams bench. The time for celebrating is put on hold for now. Now they're very quiet, thinking about things that they've achieved in this game and just waiting to really erupt once that final whistle goes. But right now, the Rams are a very subdued bunch, knowing they're 3 minutes away from history.
Pete, let's get your opinion. Who would be the offensive player of the game in your mind?
You had a couple of good ones, either Jason Claremont or Corey Olnick. You can't really go wrong either way, and Mike Wong, certainly. What can you say? First-year starter, leads his team to a national championship.
And does it with authority, not missing on many passes in this football game. In fact, Mike Wong on the afternoon, 18 of 26, 266, and 2 touchdowns. They had a penalty against the Okanogan Sun, objectionable conduct after the first down, so they've had 2 first downs and have only moved the ball about 4 yards. They're back at the 28-yard line once again. Zach Silverman will work under center, ball on the right hash. Rams come with the blitz. They hand it to Houston, little counter to the right, and Bosevich snuffs it out and finally drags down Houston for no gain on the play. Back down to Pete Pasco. Pete, who do you like for defensive player of the game?
Well, you can't ever go too far wrong with Jeff Zimmer these days. Zimmer's played another strong game, really knocking the stuffing out of a lot of guys. Dallas Kronberg, great game on the defensive line. I thought Jason Melnichenko, also a strong game at the defensive back position.
Yeah, Jason Melnichenko with a huge interception that helped set up a touchdown for the Rams and really put them on their way to victory. You'd have to think him. You could almost give an award to every Ram today because they have played well right from the opening get-go. Ball on the right hash. Here comes the blitz again. Sun pick it up. Silverman airing it up the left side for Snell. Makes the catch. And inside the 5 to the 2-yard line, Derek Ford over on the coverage, and it is a first down for the Okanogan Sun. Something for their fans to cheer about. A small applause there for them, but too little, too late, Corey Borsa.
Yeah, although that was a very nice catch by Kevin Snell. Yeah, good throw by Mr. Silverman, throwing it up, and Kevin Snell went and beat Derek Ford to the football. Unfortunately, if it would have been maybe 20 minutes ago, it would mean a lot more with 2:20 left in the football game.
Well, I have to say, maybe give the ball to Terrence Houston here. He has carried the ball 21 times for 102 yards. He leads them in touchdowns as far as their franchise go, 44 career touchdowns. The outstanding offensive player in the CJFL, but they give it to the fullback, and it's a touchdown for Steve Zamudio. So Zamudio gets it, and I'm sure the Sun will go for 2 points here with a score 36-12 and nothing to lose with 2:09 to go. I wanted to see Terrence Houston get the football there. I think he deserves it.
Well, he's been their most valuable player all year and their best offensive weapon. Today he's had a pretty decent day, but not a dominating day, and that's what the Okanogan Sun needed because they don't possess the other powerful offensive weapons.
Well, now on for the extra point is Ryan Mock. I don't know why you wouldn't go for a 2-point convert here. You got nothing to lose. You're now down by 24 points. What's the difference whether you make it or not?
Well, we're not the coaches of the Okanogan Sun, Mike. We're innocent bystanders.
That's a nice way to put it. Bystanders, eh? And now we get a whistle as it looks like too much time taken by the Okanogan Sun. It's been that kind of afternoon for the team in white and orange. Just when they got going, they shot themselves in the foot, and really the turning point, Corey, like you mentioned, an interception by Mike Surkan started a snowball effect because Sheldon Gray picked one off. And then Jason Melnichenko took one back almost to the house, if not for a great effort by Chris Orban to tackle him at the 17. But it set up a touchdown nevertheless, and the Rams really just kept it rolling from there, and it's been in cruise control ever since the late stages of the third quarter.
Yeah, Mike, as you said, the defense for the Regina Rams kept the Rams in the football game in the third quarter. The Sun, pinned the Rams deep on offense. They blocked the punt. They had momentum on their side, and then that pick by Mike Surkan turned it instantaneously. So from there, the Rams came on and dominated the Okanogan Sun.
2 minutes and 9 seconds left in the history of the greatest junior football franchise ever, the Regina Rams. And they'll go out a champion. They're up 36-12 with the PAT to come from the Okanogan Sun kicker, Ryan Mock. He has booted a field goal out of the hole to Silverman. Silverman puts it down, Mock puts it up, and right through the uprights.
So the Okanogan Sun salvaged some pride scoring that touchdown. They trail 36-13, and I'm sure now they'll try the onside kick.
The short kick from Ryan Mock is deep into the Rams coverage team, and Claremont gets crushed as he makes the catch. Corey May drills him down, but Jason Claremont maybe the best Regina Ram today, comes up with the catch, and the Rams take the ball on the short kick at their 45, and they will run out the clock if they can with 2:07 left to go in this football game. What a solid effort from, like I said, the greatest franchise in junior football.
Yeah, Mike, you're right. And I guess while we have this opportunity, I would like to make a couple comments about that. As both former players, Mike, we were very, very fortunate people to be a part of this organization. And a thank you should go to the coaches of all the years gone by, especially Gord Curry and Frank McChrystal. You know, they've had the longest stints. They've built a tradition of you know, a proud tradition of success and integrity. And us being a part of that is very fortunate for us. And a big thank you also has to go to people like the man to my left here, Ed Bankowski, who's been a part of this organization for 20, 30, 50, 80 years. And people like Paul Barnaby, Joe Kanuka back from the starting days.
What do you mean 42 years? He's been our stats man, Ed Bankowski, for 62. Second down and 3 here, Rams. Chris Ashman had a 7-yard run on first down, and they give it to big Zipchen. Chad Zipchen in at fullback. No, that's Kerry Gabriel, pardon me. I'm listening to Ed Bankowski. That wasn't Chad Zipchen. Kerry Gabriel, the 62-year-old eyes failed him there. Kerry Gabriel, and there's a guy, there's a good gentleman. I've talked to him. He's a nice young kid coming, playing 2 years with the Winnipeg Hawkeyes. I'm sure that's exactly why he came here to win a Canadian championship.
Yeah, exactly, Mike. He wanted to be part of a successful organization. And as I said before, a thank you from all, I guess I'm going to speak on behalf of all players who ever played with the Rams. A thank you to the directors and coaches of the Rams who have built this proud tradition. And nothing will change with the Rams going into university football. We're going to be doing the same things and go about things the same way. And we hope to have everyone's support next year when we do it.
On third down, they elect not to punt. They give it to Matt Dean, backup slot back out of Lebolis, and he picks up the first down with a nifty little gain there for Dean. That was an 8-yard run. The Rams trying to run out the clock here. I believe the Sun only have one timeout left. We'll have all our post-game celebrations. The Rams hopping around their secondary, gathering near the bench, jumping up and down, celebrating this one. Under a minute to go here in the Canadian Bowl. They run the end around again. This time to Jared Kleisinger out of Riffle High School. He's pulled down from behind at the 41-yard line, tackled by Ryan Folk. And a gain there of 6 yards on the play, and the fans are rising to their feet to give the Regina Rams one last celebratory applause. 41-yard line is the football. Ball on the right hash, 35 seconds and counting left to go. Cam Strasser in at quarterback. We should mention that, I guess. We got caught up in the hoopla. He's in the shotgun, and he'll take it on the quarterback draw. Why not? It worked for Mike Wong. Isn't as effective for him. He's pulled down by Chris Zimmerman, close to a first down. And I'm sure the Rams will just run out the clock here. Haven't seen Frank McChrystal get the Gatorade bath yet. We'll go down to Pete Pasco at the bench.
Just got it, Michael, and now they're sizing up Bernie Schmidt for his.
And they'll be sizing up rings, too. The Regina Rams 23 seconds away from another national championship. As the Okanogan fans file out in a steady stream. Full marks to them, Corey Borsa, though we bragged about the Rams, but the Okanogan Sun, the torch has been passed to them now to carry on the steep and rich tradition of the CJFL, because they've got to be considered, along with the Saskatoon Hilltops, as it is a first down for the Rams. Those two teams are now the class of the CJFL.
Yeah, well, they're very strong organizations. As with the Rams, they have a very strong directorship, an executive, and their coaches have been around for a long time, and they're building very strong programs. And look for the Okanogan Sun and the Saskatoon Hilltops to definitely put a stranglehold on the CJFL in terms of championships.
Here's Cam Strasser under center. Kerry Gabriel, the fullback, goes in motion left. They pitch it to Ashman. Started left, cut back right. Now bounces it out to the left. Now cuts back inside of the right and burrows his way. Finally dragged down inside the 30 of the 29-yard line. The fans love the effort. Tackled on the play by Kyler Jukes. And now the standing O for the green and white. They get their championship hats. The fans running around with a white banner. It's a beautiful sight.
Yeah, it is, Mike.
If you're a Ram fan.
Exactly. 45 years of tradition is laying out in that field right now, Mike, and the fans are loving it.
Listen to this crowd. Cam Strasser takes a knee, and the Rams take the Canadian Bowl with a 36-13 win over the Okanogan Sun. The Regina Rams, for the second straight year, 5th of the past 6 years, and for the 15th time ever, the CJFL champions.
Stay tuned. The award ceremonies are coming up next.
To midfield, where Mr. Gordon Cook, past commissioner of the CJFL, will present the Jim Vennerman Memorial Trophy for the outstanding offensive player of the Canadian Bowl, as selected by the media. The winner, Mike Wong. Now, Bob Miller, Assistant Commissioner of the CJFL, will now present the Paul Kirk Memorial Trophy to the outstanding defensive player of the Canadian Bowl. The winner is Jason. CJFL and Moran Arnutnu of Intergold will now present the Gillespie Trophy awarded to the top junior football team in Western Canada and the Canadian Bowl, emblematic of supremacy in Canadian junior football, to the Regina Rams.
Yesterday, the Regina Rams concluded an illustrious run through Canadian junior football. With their 36-13 win over the Okanogan Sun, the Rams won their 15th and final national championship. The 1998 season was special for the Rams because it was their final year in the junior ranks, but it will also be memorable for other reasons.
It was a great way, certainly, to finish off this season, but a great way because of the challenges that we had during the course of the season through injury and through just the fact that we had so many young players, 17 guys right out of high school. And I think if there's anything that would earmark 1998 as out of the ordinary, it would be the way that our rookies performed for us.
In 1999, the Rams organization begins a new chapter by moving to the university ranks, and it's a challenge they're looking forward to.
We wanted to leave being successful, and it puts no doubt in the minds of people that we can compete, that if we can compete at the highest level here and be the top team in Canada, then obviously we can compete in another league. And I think that the people who around Canada who have watched us play junior football fans, I don't think that many of them really wanted us to succeed and take their trophy into the CIAU ranks next year, but I think for that we've overcome that and we showed everybody that we can play.
Oh, it'll definitely be a new challenge. It'll be tough games every time. I mean, there won't be a game where we can make a lot of mistakes and still come out on top, so we're going to have to be ready. Well, it's kind of sad that we're going to lose some players who are very good, who just don't want to go to school, would rather work. So it's for the rest of us, it's an exciting challenge because everything's going to be new cities, new players, and new systems. So it's going to be pretty fun.
Off of this year's team of 58 players, the Rams are hoping that about 45 will be around next year for their first season in the CIAU, and the team knows that they are entering a realm of higher caliber football and adjustments will have to be made.
Some of those teams have full-time coaches, which maybe lend to a little more preparation simply because of time factors and time elements. So, again, we're not entirely sure what we're going to face there, but we can't concern ourselves so much with that we forget about doing the things that we know how to do now and building on that foundation.